This was the tuning patch for the revamp. Shadowheart got nerfed to 2 gold. The Gale Wing change is still kind of weird because it's just not a hero power now. It's just like not a choice.
It's literally
just do the discover.
Hero power is every 3.
He used to be interesting.
Yeah.
Really, really sad.
I also still think that going doesn't make sense on a thematic note, right? Like when you look at it, right, you're spending the gold for going to take you somewhere, right? But then what we're doing right now is you're like, okay, Gilwing, I'm at the destination. Let's go again, like three turns. Let's just go in a circle. Like what's going on?
Same place.
What's going on?
It would be interesting. It would be interesting if you couldn't use this, like if they changed the hero powers, but then you couldn't use them consecutively.
I talked about this with Shady for sure. Like, there's definitely ways to redesign this hero that makes more sense.
You know what that means? Like, you'd have to take 2 attack damage every
pretty much. It'd be a big nerf, but I do think thematically it's super weird how it functions.
It's a good point. Yeah, I never thought about it, even in the slightest. But yeah, you raise a good point. Yeah, the Panda nerf is interesting because they said in patch notes we nerfed Panda, and then they didn't say how they nerfed it.
Just like
they did.
My Twitter thread is so fucking long, dude.
JK wasn't happy. They did eventually mention on Twitter that they hit the appearance rate of 5 different heroes. They didn't say by how much, but they said they hit the appearance rate of five hero.
Can you guess?
I know Reno was a big one.
Yes, Reno is one for sure. I don't know the rest of them.
And you could only.
I know them. Do you guys want to guess? I know them.
I mean, I know them too.
Reno, Akazam. Was Omu one of them?
Yes.
Yep.
Who were the other 2?
Shudder would be a guess.
No.
Nope.
Because they also nerfed Shudderwalk.
That's No House.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then one more. That's a pretty good one.
Patchwork.
My chat gave me that answer.
It is.
Which ones have we said so far?
Reno, Scamsrack, Omu Millhouse,
and George. George.
Wait,
George makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, Omu was not that good on Panda.
I mean,
it depends on what
if you get it on the right turn, it's insane.
I mean, it's not enough to.
It's not the craziest thing. I mean, there's times when I
how much they nerfed it by, right?
Especially like for Daryl. Yeah, and
it was very clear that they nerfed.
Those are the fun.
It's so stupid too.
Yeah, like hitting Alex is not.
Hitting Alex when you're on Tavern 4 is amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, is this fair?
I've held Reno hero power because I was like, I tripled and I didn't hit something, and I was like, I'm not using this, and I set up another triple, and so I held my Reno hero power, and then I turned into it, and I just realized I'm like, no, it's leaving. No, it was the worst. It was the worst. Like people were like, are you gonna like? What are you doing? I'm like, I'll use it next turn, and then I was just like, oh shit.
Wait, what next turn?
Dude, you just had a 1 in 1,000 chance and you blew it.
Yeah, it was really sad. Defiant Shipwright was yeeted, so it didn't last very long. I don't know what so this was about 3 weeks, just like 2.5 weeks for this patch.
It felt like an eternity.
This was very, very bad.
I didn't play for like last week and that was the worst meta of the game, and it wasn't even close.
It's definitely close.
I don't know.
I would actually say it was not the worst meta in the game. We're gonna get to that.
Although I was in school, so I wouldn't.
You think it was Diablo meta?
Yes.
I hated Big Demon meta so much.
I hated the floating watcher meta, dude. That was.
I wasn't good at the game at that point, so I didn't care.
I wasn't either anymore.
That was the meta I played least in, Big Demon, but not because I hated the meta.
I was a casual at that point.
I'm still a casual.
I want to say I didn't like floating watcher meta, but at least I kept playing. With like Frog and Doomsayer, once I knew, the next patch is coming in like a week or a week and a half or whatever, I just stopped playing and didn't come back until they were nerfed.
There was a lot of people that did that. There's
Like,
a lot of people that did
the
that.
Like,
big
for some
demon
reason,
meta?
I could deal with it. Like,
2 weeks,
frogs
'cause
are
I don't
fine.
remember.
Frogs are totally fine. Like, Doomsayer was really annoying, right? Because he would like randomly run into the guy and take 50 damage.
It was
But like
it
frogs
was a
were
stupid
fine.
meta, but I
Like, you
didn't
just triple into
I mean, it
zap.
was
Like, you
MMR.
like people adapted to the frog to everybody playing frogs because like you could take lines that were generally suboptimal, but they countered frogs. But if everybody's playing frogs, you can actually take that line.
Yeah, and I think that was very stupid to play, so I didn't play it.
Yeah, I mean, you could gain MMR, so like in that sense, it wasn't that stupid
Yeah.
because like
Yeah, and it felt like
over
I felt
games,
like, I had
you could just abuse it
agency.
harder than other people, but it was definitely boring. Like it wasn't a fun meta for me.
And you also like they weren't in every game, right? You could have lobbies with no beasts, no demons.
Right.
Yeah. And Frogger really wasn't
Wolf
that
Smuggler. And
impressive.
Wolf
Doomsayer was
Smuggler
much
is
worse
busted.
than
Like
Plus
you can
Frogger
look at
wasn't
the
even in
lobby
half
and then you
Prevalent
know
was.
exactly what you're trying to play.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
look
I
at
felt
the
that was
guy.
super
Yeah.
weird. Like, but you kind of do that now.
Yeah, you do that now.
Yeah.
You definitely do that
There
now.
are varieties you can play now, but back then
Depending
you
on
knew
what floor you
exactly
hit.
what you were going to play. Like Doomsayer I'm playing Doomsayer like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was not
But
it was
now
not a
there's
fun
like
meta for sure.
I think there's a variety of things you can play.
Do you guys think the meta's in a good spot right now?
Yeah.
Crypto.
Yes and
pretty
no.
okay.
No, it's not.
Like there's problems.
I think there's problems, but I think like right now, it does feel like
Skill reward.
skill has a very high impact.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
There's a lot of problems with it, but as a whole, like it does work.
Yeah.
I would say
was the best Tony.
Comparatively to the previous like 5 metas, I like this one probably the most.
I think that's
But
probably true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't like the fact that basically every game devolves into you're either tripling into 4 for Avenge, or if Beast and Murlocs are in, you're looking for Amalgam. Like those are
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the
No, I'm
the
very,
poison
I'm
dynamic
very
annoys me for sure.
forward right now. But I understand why it's like an okay patch, but I'm over. I get bored. Like the thing is, I'm a bit weird in that I don't really care about the other stuff or even like balance. Like I don't care if something's balanced if I'm having fun.
yeah, you want
You
to
know?
be different.
Like
That's just
so.
like you enjoy the process of figuring out a meta, which means you want the meta to change often, and I think that's pretty
Right.
normal.
And the meta's
That's
figured out.
true, yeah.
Shady's like
That
the
is true.
exact opposite
meta's-
of that. Like complete. He's
Yeah.
like, don't change it. I got the meta. Don't change
The
it.
meta's figured out, but to a new player, they'll still struggle because it's very different from other metas.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
it's-
I always climb a ton during new
Mhm.
metas, so like I'm in favor of as many new ones as possible.
I do also think one potential problem for like not necessarily skill, but somewhat skill is that a lot of stuff currently is very APM intensive. So there's relatively
Yes.
little time to actually think. If you have to
There's
think
also
about
still a
things,
lot of
you're
people that play
screwed.
on mobile, which is
Yeah,
know.
that's a huge disadvantage.
And mobile did get slightly better, but it still does suck, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so to actually talk about the things that got hit in this patch were Doomsayer, Loopfogger, Macaw, Rattler, Smuggler, and Trickster. Right. So we actually talked about all of them already.
Yeah.
Masters of Realities got buffed to tier 5, and Pirates and Quillbores received a lot of tuning buffs. Right. A lot of just like stat stuff.
What were they? I mean, I think some of them were pretty relevant, but I don't know how relevant they were.
Those are
Tony
good
the four.
stuff, right? Like,
No, this was not Tony DeFore.
Oh.
Like
This was
that's
Peggy.
Yeah, this was not 20 to
Peggy.
this is like
South
stat,
Peak
like,
Yeah.
this is just stat line.
Peggy went to a 6-5.
South
Southsea got
Grubber.
re-added. Grubber got
You're
buffed
right.
stats wise
Yeah.
by 2-2. Yoho went to a 3-5 or whatever.
Yeah, 3-5.
6? Is it 3-5?
3-5.
Yeah, from a 2-6.
So-
Yeah.
So and then Quillbore's like stuff like Duo. I can't remember if this was a Necrolite change or not.
No,
I don't
that's
think it
definitely
was.
not. This is September.
Yeah. So it was just like some stats stuff for the most part.
Did Duo go from a 5-6 to a 3-4 to a 4-5 to a 5-6?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. It did do all those things.
Damn.
Gotta get it just right, you know?
I mean, I think if they had nerfed it to a 4-5 initially, it actually would have been fine until the whole like overhaul thing, right? But during that time, they didn't do that. They made it a 3-4 instead, and it still sucked. So then, when it was its time to be a 4-5, it was like that time had left, and then they made it a 4-5, right? And then it needs to get buffed again.
I mean, basically, the Quillbores were designed and balanced. It feels like the Quillbores were just designed and balanced around the rework, right?
Yeah, they felt much less of a need to be changed.
Right, like
partly
if you
because
look
they
at
were so strong, though, too, right?
no, but it's
like,
like
on
if you
release
look at the
and then-
Quillbores right now, like they're basically the same as they were on release, with like a couple of tweaks here and there.
I see what
So
you're
the
saying. Yeah.
a lot of the revamp, right, that they talked about was like changing the identity of the tribes to like the thematic thing, right? Like actually mattered. And Quillbores were much like they were built around gems. So like to your point, yeah, they were built with a philosophy of being built around a mechanic, right? Whereas like before, mechs were kind of like a weird death rattle thing, but then also shield stuff, and that's like a weird combination, right?
I'm just talking about the power level of the cards.
Well, the
But
power
yeah.
level was insane when Quillbores were released. So.
Right, but the power level
They-
of the cards was like in line with the power level of the cards post rework, right?
Yeah, more so at least.
It's
Not
basically the
100%,
same.
but more
It's
so.
basically the same. How many
I think a
Quillbores
lot of
are different than what they were on release at this point?
like Flat Tusk, Charlie.
Kicker.
Bannerboard, but like a lot of those changes are very minor. So some of them are
Yeah.
not, but like
Yeah.
a lot of them are minor.
Yeah.
Like Flat Tusk, I think, is the only really major change.
Chalga, I mean,
it's
I
just
do think Bannerboard is very relevant, though.
sure.
A 2-5 Bannerboard would be really good right now, still, as opposed to the 1-4, which is like
and
only
8-8
useful with
Chalga would
other
also
stuff.
be really relevant too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with your point though. I do think a lot of it does make sense. Like it hasn't really changed in what
Like-
they were
like
on
most
release
things are
compared
gonna
to it
change.
now. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, if they had been released post rework, they would have needed like 3 or 4 tweaks to be balanced, and like that's pretty good.
Unfortunately, that's not what happened, right? They weren't released so they needed like 20 changes to be balanced. So, I see what you're saying, but it doesn't work.
No, they planned it. It's like they planned it to be released post rework, and then they just did it first, and it's like, and then it just caused all sorts of chaos.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but they definitely had. There's no way they released Quillbores without the idea of some of the revamp stuff, right?
Yeah, no way, because like that stuff had to be in the
So-
pipeline.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So yeah, I mean, okay, we can move on.
Yes, we should be moving on
this
and
was-
moving
yes.
on. I agree.
This was nice.
Yep.
Millhouse got nerfed with the Wraith interaction, and then Buster and Mecro got hit a little bit. This was like a random patch in the middle of the day. I don't know if you guys remember. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, Buster was too strong. Like, yeah, all these were fine changes. Tuning patch.
I wanted Mecro removed twice. I wasn't super happy about that one, but other than that, I was like, yeah, this is great, but Mecro's not gone. That's what I said.
The 2 attack hit to Mecro it's a bit funny. It's like if you think the 2 attack is like the issue that makes this card like a problem, like, well, you're just wrong. Like, two attacks not that much.
Playable as long as Pyro spawns the cards. So, just saying.
It's not unplayable. Okay, even at the very basest argument, dragons aren't always in the game, right? So
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. It's good without dragons, but it's bad. with
it's
dragons.
definitely far worse with no dragons.
Yeah, with dragons, the counter is
Or
just
with
like,
with dragons.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, my whole comp just dies for free. Like,
You
whatever.
can't do anything. There's
Yeah.
no
There's
like you
no
can't be like,
counterplay,
oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna like it's not like a ghoul where you're like, oh, like my opponent's playing like probably gonna ghoul me, so I'm gonna like reposition, do X, Y, and Z, and then I can like be slightly weaker but
Yeah.
not be completely ruined. Where it's like my opponent has power spawn. Okay, what am I gonna do next game?
No, you put all your taunted divine shields earlier.
And you still get murdered. Like
You see,
Well, no,
Doug,
you give
that's
yourself
why
a
your comp is
significantly better
divine
chance.
shield.
It's
Compared
actually,
to not doing that, you improve your odds. So it's not like you can literally do nothing.
yeah, and it's also really
And
sad that
you
they.
reset, it's like, it's kind of stupid.
Like if you have if your comp is based on like a divine shield that gets reset and it's just gonna get hit, it's just gonna die the first time your opponent attacks into it, yeah, you're just dead in the water.
Oh yeah, but like I hate those builds anyway.
Oh, me too. I hate them too. I just think
Yeah,
that
but, like, can
you
we
should
just
nerf
remove them
them
both?
instead of doing what they did.
Yeah, no, like remove them both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Cool. Next match.
Sure.
Here you go, Sleepy. Just kidding.
No, not yet.
This is actually, yeah, I was gonna say this is actually not really it. This is right before Halloween. Diablo gets added. The event starts. Sneed gets added with the summons. Sneed gets removed, and then they just put it in hero power. Say, hey, I heard you like taking random summon damage. And Cookie was an interesting one. That definitely didn't appear as strong prior to release as it did once people started playing it.
I know that
yeah.
I didn't know you could eat from the shop at first.
I did.
Yeah, I just didn't realize you could, and I was like, oh, this here's literally like garbage. What are they doing?
It's the worst hero ever released if you can't eat from shop. Like
I thought,
just
like,
eat
what are they
three
doing?
times. You spent 9 gold for a discover.
You can tell how high my faith in Blizzard was at this point.
I gotta mention here that I really, really hated Sneed from the get-go. I think this is like one of the worst designs of a hero in just toxicity and what it does to the game and how you feel and how you lose to this hero, right? What it does, being able to stack the same thing, being able to stack tier 6s, tier 5s, being able to lose random games that you're not supposed to lose because they randomly like pull spores, and then also you take a bajillion damage, right? You pop a 6 and then like 3 6s come out and like, oh yeah, here, take 24 instead of 12. It's like, it's so toxic in every way. I really hate this hero design, and I was like so frustrated when I saw the hero come out. I'm just looking at it, reading it, and I'm like, is it stackable? And then you play it once and it's stackable, and you're just like, this is. I was so tired of it there.
I mean, everyone lost to some stupid version of Sneed, right?
There's one thing that I do like about Sneed, and it's that if you hero power a minion, it can't summon itself. So at least. Like, you can't
They've thought of everything.
My X-Nat and then get my X-Nat back from it.
Thank you, Foggy. Thank you.
The one singular redeeming factor.
That it doesn't solve anything. Like, you can hero power Baron and the Baron triggers on itself and you get 2 minions. It's like, why does that make sense? And then you can play Baron, right? Baron with anything and everything just pulls 2. And if you hit like a single gas curler or something, you pop off. Like, I've killed people because I had a Baron and then like I randomly got a gas curler and then, oh yeah, you took 30. And then I win, and I'm just looking at the battle, and I'm looking at the percentages, and I'm like, yeah, that looked like a 0% win for me, and I killed them. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's amazing, the stupid ass. There were so many boards I just like have like random things, not buffed, not built, no synergy, and I get to like 2nd place because it's just like, yeah, just scam every fight. And I don't know what the odds are because like who knows?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you BS on BS.
You play like poison comp and then you just hero power your SI and then you're fighting another poison comp, but you get a spore. Oh yeah, because you deserve to win. I hate it.
The poison mirror match when you're just like, yeah, you can't win because they have death rattles on everything, and those death rattles aren't always bad. Like it's not plants; it's just actual.
Anyway,
minions.
my rant is over. I hate this hero.
Yeah. The one thing
Yeah.
that I did find interesting about this was that I ended up noticing a significant meta shift that with no minions being changed, just by the fact that Sneed, like, 2 people were being offered Sneed and Cookie every game. So, like, 2 of the heroes in the lobby were at least as good as that. So then what you could get away with was a lot, like, lower.
Yeah.
Like, I would like not pick a lot of, like, quote unquote consistent heroes because I'm like, I have to compete with Sneed and Cookie in the lobby. So, like, there's no point in playing, like, Kurtrus or something.
Yeah. Agreed.
And Kurtrus also got worse with the revamp in general because his free stats
Revenge
basically
stuff.
mean like if the minions in the game are bad, then just spamming the hero power to complete it on turn 8 and having a board with +4/+4, and then like everything you summon has +2/+2, like that's a lot better if the minions themselves are bad, right? So then
Right,
the
if
revamp
everything
happens,
sucks.
all the minions are good. So the relative like buff
Random
you get
stats
from the
is
hero
not as
power
much.
Yeah, no,
is
I'm just saying in
right?
general, like I would pick the high rollier hero or like the less consistent hero and just feel like I have to compete with Sneed and Cookie. Like, what's the point in playing a consistent hero here?
Right. That's a trend of like quote unquote consistent heroes in general, right? They got worse because
Oh,
Yeah.
like KT's
they
touchdown,
provide isn't
like
as valuable in
tempo
general.
stat heroes also are just all across the board not great anymore.
But like I would pick stuff like
right.
Chenvala because it was like at least I can high roll.
Right. I think that's definitely still the case.
It's still the case, but it was like noticeable. Like it started at this point. I think this is where it started.
Yeah, I mean,
To
I think
get
it's
really
progressively
apparent that you just could not,
become
you could
more and
not
more an
settle.
issue. All right, next patch because this is a big one. This is what 3 weeks after the Diablo thing, and Diablo was originally supposed to be a 2-week edition. Tamsin got added, the armor system got added, actually a big change. Diablo got buffed, so Diablo's bugs were fixed for a week after the 2 weeks, and then on this patch, it got buffed, and the hero powers got stronger. And then Bristleback Knight got removed. Mithrax comes back. Thorncaller comes back. Tank, Greasebot are nerfed, and then Pirates and Cool Wares are buffed. And this is when Tony got moved to Avenged 4.
I thought Bristleback getting removed was a little bit weird.
I think it was just
It made sense to me in the sense that it was kind of like a spot on 5 that Bristleback Knight was kind of a menagerie card, right? Like it had some
Yeah.
synergies with the other stuff, but if you're taking something out and putting Mithrax in, like it makes a lot of sense, I guess. So I was fine with it. And bringing Thorncaller back, like, yeah, I was okay.
Yeah, I think Thorncaller's like I think
You
it's
know, you don't want to add
it's a good
you don't want to
card,
add
but I
too
think
many
it's
of one
a card that
tribe.
needs
So
to be in.
I'm really happy with the armor system. Just like hindsight, everything. I'm really happy with it. I'm just scared. I talked about this with Shady. I'm scared that they might start like patching based on like armor and be like, oh, we've done it. We've given them 1 health. We've done so many things in the patch. You know, I'm so scared they're gonna rely on the armor system because like I feel like if Test was released today, they would have just like it would have started like the Reno copy Scabs, right? It would have started with 6 armor. They would have put Hooktusk down to 0 armor and be like, yeah, that is our patch change, right? They wouldn't have been creative enough to make it Discover 2. And I'm scared they might rely on the armor system more than
That's
being
kind of what they did
creative.
with the last patch, right?
Yeah,
like
that's what scared me. That's what I was talking about.
Collins is over here like terrified, like looking at this, like, guys, do you see what this means? He's like the guy in the like movie, like the scientist, like, do you see this, guys? All the omens are like We're
But it's
screwed. We're all
true.
gonna die.
We're all gonna die. It's true.
Yeah, but Collins, I see a flaw in your argument, and
Okay.
that's that you would expect that they would otherwise bring satisfying changes.
I
if the
know.
armor
I
system
know.
wouldn't do that. Right? If you're going off the basis that they were going to make these amazing, well-crafted changes that like make the meta more fun and interesting and balanced, right? But then because there's armor, they make boring changes instead, right? Like
You're right. I still have
think?
that little faith. I still have it. I agree. It's still down. But yeah, that's something I'm worried about. That's all.
I know this is totally random, but like, has anybody else wondered why they can't just make Sir Finley have the armor of whatever hero you choose?
I think that might be difficult.
Probably
The
thing.
coding, maybe. Yeah.
It's like, I feel like that would
Um,
make way more sense.
I mean, it's also I don't think they can do it. Like because
I think it would be
armor's variable
annoying.
too. So
Right, because it's like your
fine.
your
I don't have a
hero
problem with it.
is not
Finley's
like
Finley,
your
it
hero
can
and
be
your hero
different,
power are
right?
different things. Like they've got
Mhm.
hero power switching coded, but like changing your armor might not be something that they can do, and it might not be something that they think is worth their time to implement.
I don't think it is. Do
I mean,
you?
that's probably what it is. Like, it's probably like, it's
But I
more
don't
of
think
a
it's.
they don't.
I don't
wanna
think it's that
do
big of a
it.
deal.
I would argue
Yeah.
that Finley
do you guys
is
have a
the
problem
best
Like-
hero in the game because you just get 6 armor with
I
that.
pick
The
Finley
best
so much
hero,
now,
yeah.
but like because here's where I'm at. I'm like whenever somebody talks about something and like it might require some like mild coding investment, I'm like, yeah, like let's not do that. I would rather like not have the game lag unplayably on my $1,400 gaming PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Shady would agree with you. He hates that so much. He just
mean-
rages. That's one of the things that gets him to rage. When he's just like playing the game and it's lagging and he like misses something because of the lag. He's just like, oh my god, Blizzard, fix your game. I can hear
Like
it.
not have my minions swap around in my hand or on my board so that I sell the wrong unit or play the wrong like those are the things. Like if there's gonna be like significant developer time invested into something that's like coding intensive, like put it there, please.
My favorite is actually when they swap mid fight.
Like right when the fight's about to start and you're just like, oh.
Well, yes, but like my minions have literally swapped like 5 attacks into the fight before.
Yeah, who knows? There's a lot of weird bugs.
I mean, why do you need your minions to swap when you can just have your attack order randomly swapped?
Tony to 4 was a really weird change, huh?
Oh my god, that was the like I remember thinking about this change. I'm like, they are catering to the lowest common denominator with like all of these changes, and it made me angry.
Well, they kind of always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was
they
like
do.
it felt like they were like prioritizing the like the average player while still keeping in mind that high level players exist. And this time it felt like they were not keeping that in mind at all. Right? Like Diablo. Like between Diablo and Tony, it felt like they were just like giving us the finger. That's how I felt.
It's been like that for a while. I'm just gonna let
Yeah,
you
I don't think
know.
they ever really cared about that high end.
Join the club.
They really don't care about it. Like the only thing that I remember that they've ever done for high MR is remove the ability to do past 10k.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they
I'm
sometimes
not
care
saying that
if
they're like doing
there's-
anything for us, but it's like it still felt like they were like they weren't doing too many things that would like make the game absolutely horrible high MMR, and this time they did. Right? Generally, things were not getting actively worse.
I mean, they reintroduced prizes.
Mother's birthday. See ya.
There's a ton of like random
Hey, G.
cards. I'm like, what's going on?
Thanks for hanging
here?
out.
What?
I mean, Tony is like, there's some stuff that, I mean, Tony was in the game for a while, so it's not really a great argument. But I wish they gave people the time to like, or just like force them to figure it out, right? Like, Blizzard made StarCraft, right? And StarCraft obviously had maps, but it was something that didn't get like patched a lot and had many distinct metas through its esports history based on players adapting, right? And like metas will shift in that way. And when you have a really good, I mean, Okay, yeah, argument. When you have good balance, that's not necessarily something we have. Players can generally shift. That's why like anti-meta stuff and like tech stuff is very cool because like as the meta shifts, you can adjust as a player to fit the meta. And Tony was fine. Tony was playable at 5 in the right situations, but you had to have a setup. You had to know when to play it and that sort of stuff. Tony at 4 just seems way too easy to make work.
Yeah, like
Super consistent.
Like, I think if they wanted to say, this card is not seeing enough play, let's make it stronger, there was a way to, like, you can just buff the base stats of the unit, give it more health so it's less likely to get sniped, right? You can make it stronger in that way without completely breaking everything.
I mean, I think as a card, the way it's designed is basically meant to be either useless or broken, right? Because some pirates become insanely strong when made golden.
Yes, but it's about the investment and like the life total investment you have to make, right? If it's Avenge 4, you pretty much like have an Acolyte in play and you're gonna get it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like that's a very low bar and you're not really weakening yourself to do it versus if it's
I
Avenge
understand,
5.
but I'm saying either it's only ever useful to make specifically like Hogger and Eliza golden, or you make it so that it's gold, so that you can actually like use it for other stuff, right? You can make a board full of golden gold grubbers now. You can't really do that with Avenge 5 because after you've made the second one golden, you can't reliably trigger the Avenge anymore, right? You have to sacrifice health to do it because you have to spend so much of your board making that sacrifice.
That's
Yeah.
But
fine.
if you so you can only ever have it be good with Hogger or Eliza, right? If you keep it at Avenge 5, I think. Which, I mean, that's a if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I think the reason they buffed it to Avenge 4 is not because they want that kind of play to be more reliable or easier to achieve. It's because they want Tony to be useful for like goldening Peggies and salty looters and gold grubbers.
Yeah, but
That's a good.
here's
a good
my
argument.
problem with the card. I think the card would literally be a worse card if it said Battle Cry, make another friendly pirate gold.
Yeah, because I mean, well,
Because then you'd only get one golden minion out of it per. It's like a Rattler, right? Like giving it permanently reborn. Like, can you imagine if Rattler was on Tavern 5 and it was like Avenge 3 or Avenge 4 or whatever?
The issue
But
with
you
that
don't have
is
to
you
keep it
can
on
do
your
it.
board.
You can do it in one turn,
You don't have to
though.
keep it on your board, and you don't need to have Avenge and like.
Also,
don't
like
need
a
to play
beast board is
weak
going to lend
stuff.
itself way more to triggering an Avenge than a pirate board.
Sure, but you only need an Acolyte to
Yeah,
make
that's
whatever
true.
pirate you want. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think Battle Cry would be pretty crazy. I don't think.
But,
you
like,
can
it
go
would be
with
Yeah, because
Battle Cry.
like, otherwise, like you
better.
find a Hogger and then you find a Tony, and it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I have Golden Hogger now,
Yeah,
and like
that's
on the
the
same
issue.
turn,
Yeah, that's
that
the
would be
issue.
dumb.
Yeah,
But would it really be that much worse?
yeah, because you don't. There's a
Yeah,
turn.
Battle Cry
There's
would
a-
be way better, yeah.
Because the other thing to consider is like right now you get the Tony first and you can put it on your board. If it was a Battle Cry, you couldn't do that.
you can go infinite, like the same turn,
Right.
like you roll that, like you could have
Yeah.
a board of nothing and then roll into that, and then bam, the next turn you
You
like
don't need,
you have
you don't need
44.
weak stuff on your board either. Like, you don't need the weak stuff to. You don't need 2 acolytes or whatever. You can just have like a bunch
It would
of stats.
also,
and be like,
it would just be dumb either way. But it's like it's also still very dumb right now.
Yeah, I think Battle Cry would be more problematic. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm good here. There's
Sure.
another spot to also talk more about Diablo.
Good, because we need the spot. So
Yep. It's not like I'm still scarred.
Real quick, I'm still really salty that Shutterwalk and Bran have 7 armor.
yeah,
Oh,
Shadowwalk
yeah.
especially, like that one doesn't make sense to me. Like,
Shutterbox crazy.
they're looking at the stats and they're like, yeah, it loses, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
no. What stats are you looking at?
You know. There needs to be some of the heroes that they deviate from the stats on for sure.
Yeah.
It can't only be the stats.
Yeah. Jiraxis. Stop saying it's fine. It's so good. It's so good at 200 MMR. Yeah, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
love that.
No, I'm honestly fine with heroes not having enough armor for high MMR play. I'm kind of fine with that. The impact of a hero not being viable is relatively low compared to a hero being broken.
Sure, but
Sure.
the point is that it's all rooted in the same issue, right?
Yeah, it's the
That they're
same.
just looking
Right.
at the
My
stats.
point is like I would rather just like have all of the heroes have their armor based on the elo where they're strongest.
Yeah, like the problem with
guess.
Shutterwalk is like they put in the 15 damage cap, right? When Shutterwalk was really strong and he was smacking people for 30 on turn 7.
Right.
So it felt like the armor cap was a lot of that was because of Shutterwalk.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was it made
Yeah.
Shutterwalk even
better.
more
I know.
usable.
Like,
even
it's-
more reliable because you had more turns to be able to find your tokens and take your
Yeah, you
six
could just
drop.
always like, oh, well, I'm at 16 health, so I can't die.
And then on top
Level.
of that, they gave him 7 armor. So it's like they essentially gave him like it's free. Like there's like basically no way to not get your 6 drops like in the current like iteration of Battleground.
Assuming a double token lobby.
Yeah, of course. If there's no tokens, Shadow, but like yeah, like it's just it feels
Yeah.
like he's even more broken. Like they tried to like make the game better
He's
against him,
more
but in turn they
consistent,
made
right?
him just better.
There's definitely a downside to not like murdering people every turn, but you know, what if someone does die and you're rolling? So this patch, Diablo left. Scabs was added with armor, by the way. Barov came back just because Diablo left, and then the boards came out. So back to the cosmetics things, but that was the addition.
This is the window to talk about Diablo. I'm guessing. No. Yeah.
No. We that was a separate section.
Are you
Separate
serious
section.
or are you serious or not?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
Okay.
Oh, there's like an event section.
I'm not.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes a lot more sense to talk about it there.
Okay.
Because some of the stuff lines up. I mean, Scabs is a crazy hero, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it. Like, it was just a crazy ad. Nothing huge here. Like Scab's obviously really good, right? And
Barov's good.
I mean-
Barov's crazy.
Birov is also good, and the return and the fact that Birov has armor, right? So
I
Birov
don't know why he has
left,
armor either.
there was no armor, and then Birov came back, and then armor exists.
But at least
So
it's not
he has
7
like
armor.
5 armor or whatever. Yeah.
I like Battleground
Um,
boards as cosmetics a little bit more than these skins, just because you see it every game.
Yeah, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
There's only one, so to be curious to see if they make some
Yeah.
like
I
different
hope they make
designs
some
that
that are like not
maybe
as
more-
cramped.
yeah.
I feel like right now it just shrinks the size of the board almost. Like there's so much stuff that pushes in, and I don't like seeing it.
I'm surprised they haven't made emotes, like custom emotes.
That I'm crazy surprised about. Imagine like buying
That's
emotes and
actually
stuff
true.
like
I don't like
I'm
emotes.
crazy
I can't squelch anyone. I would
Yeah.
I would squelch all every time.
so
or just have
think how much money they could make. Driving hatred in the game.
I have a list of all the people who have waved to me when they've 3% leaved me. Don't worry.
I mean, I only need Happy Cow. I don't need any other emotes.
Aren't you Celissa, huh?
You need to wave emote to let someone know that you're level.
Yeah,
No.
that's kind
Either I'm
of.
leveling or I'm not. I don't care about the other person.
I usually don't care what other people do,
No,
but
you
I do it
use
anyways
to
just to
draw
like.
their attention to the fact because
Yeah.
people don't pay attention.
Yeah,
to anything.
it's
Yeah,
it's more
exactly.
you're like, hey, dude, level with me. Don't deal damage to me. It's
Yeah,
less
or like,
of-
Yeah.
or like,
I
hey,
already
you
leveled,
can
just-
hold in
you do
case
it
you hit
too.
another Wrathweaver.
Yeah, or like you tripled. Like I leveled. I have nothing on my board. Don't play your triple. Just don't do it.
yeah, get a 5 instead of a 4. Like, what are you doing?
I'm not even gonna proc your revenge stuff, so just don't even think about it.
I have lost faith in people on ladder, to be honest.
That's fair. It's fair. Very fair.
This is the last patch.
Is it?
This is it.
There's one more.
Yeah,
right?
this is the most recent patch.
I mean, this was 10 days ago. So
0.2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December 20th. So this is what Collins talked about, the armor updates. They just like moved them all around to different places.
Yeah.
nothing crazy. Sneed nerfed to 2.
I'm glad
It's
they
still a little
deleted
weird.
Sneed,
It's still
though.
annoying, but it's
Yeah.
bad though.
I'm glad they
So that's
deleted
nice.
Sneed. Like that, I was pretty happy about that. That's the one thing in this patch. I was like, all right, they deleted Sneed. Feels good. Like other than that, like
I find
It had
it
to be
so
done.
funny
Yeah.
to see
Tamsin was
pandas
like
still
technically a
picking it.
rework. I mean, there's an argument for maybe sometimes it's worth it on Panda. I don't know.
No, but like on tier 1 and tier 2, like to
Oh
spend
yeah,
2
no,
gold, yeah.
not
Like
for
late
some
game,
random death
obviously,
battle on a
yeah, you
minion
can
you don't
go
care
for-
about. Yeah, no, definitely.
That's so often, and it's especially
yeah,
when I haven't
Tamsin-
been paying attention. You face them like 3 turns after they have like a random 2-drop on their board, and it dies and summons a 2-drop, and you're like, spent 2 gold on it. Anyway.
Tamsin is reworked. It's better with Terragosa, but it's still an awful hero.
it's just a bait. Like if
Yeah,
you're
it
playing
sucks.
Tams
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I mean, I guess you wanted to lose this game. Like, you know, good for you.
I have lost to
the-
it though, and it was very annoying.
The promo Drake and Lightspawn got stat nerfs.
Unlucky.
I've seen less promo Drake.
Yeah, promo Drake was definitely more relevant than Lightspawn, but it doesn't stop the people that are gonna play promo. Like, if you're Ysera, you're like, this doesn't do anything to you, right? You're still gonna
doing
do
the
the
thing,
same
yeah.
thing, yeah. And if you roll like promo Terragosa, same shop, right? You're still gonna
But
buy
it hits your win rates down a little bit, right?
Yeah, the
theoretically.
issue is like you can't like buy a promo randomly just because it's a
Or
good card
random
and
to
then
go.
and
Yeah.
then like hit the dragon comp. That's
It makes it more of a whiff on 4 whenever you're trying to triple into your
Yeah,
match. Because like
yeah, that's
before it
another
used to be at
Yeah.
like say you have 0 dragons, it was a 7/7.
7/7, yeah, really solid.
And you could find the Terragosa.
Yeah, it was a 7/7 with upside.
Yeah.
Right.
But now it's a 5/5, which there's almost always going to be a better 4-drop.
Yeah. So
So-
I think that's weird in that it's being played less, but it doesn't change how you play with the card, right? Like Ysera still has the same boards essentially, but now people can't like do a Ysera strategy like with reasonable confidence. They have to
It's
like
just a weird strategy. It's weird design because you basically
is.
take a card that is on its own very underwhelming, and then if you also
cards
find another
that are
card that is also extremely underwhelming, all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
completely broken. Like what?
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool when you put it like that. Like it reminds me of like my Yu-Gi-Oh days, and I'm like, you know, like you play like some off meta comp. You're like, yeah, this is garbage. This is garbage. But when I put it together, it's actually okay. Now, is it the best? No, but like, hey, I'm playing off meta stuff, so it's fun.
It's just
So-
very
But,
weird.
it's
for
less
this
interesting than that.
game. It's very
It is
weird
very
design
weird.
for this game.
Very weird for BGs.
Are you trying to say that it's bad game design that you can literally design a script to play this hero at high MMR in 15 minutes?
Probably. I mean, honestly, probably.
Dude, I feel like you're not giving people enough credit. 15 minutes is not
10 minutes?
is-
8 minutes? The only decision you make the entire game is if you go 3-on-3 or Chief Curve it.
No,
It takes
Oh,
about
go
5
for
seconds.
afterwards.
If promo
Is there a
roll,
token in
why
that
else
top?
roll?
Yeah, but there's only a few. So. Yeah, and Lightspawn is still disgustingly strong.
I think it'd take like 2 hours or something to really actually make the script. I'm gonna, like it. But maybe.
Yeah,
people are
to get
faster
it to
than me.
actually work. But the
Yeah, like 'cause
logic
you have
would
to
not
like
take
make
that
it
long,
click
right?
buttons, and that would actually take
Yeah.
time.
The logic
You
is
have to,
not
like,
the part that
if you
takes
get
a
it
long
to
time.
like recognize cards, like actually making a script to play this game automatically takes time, but getting it to like learn like programming the Ysera strategy takes.
I
2
can make a
seconds.
script to tell you what to do.
Yeah, making the flow chart is
Like I can
Yeah,
write
making a
your
script to tell a person what to do would take
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Yeah. That one seems more believable. Getting the actual script done, that's a bit harder. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's the most recent thing. The next patch is probably in a couple weeks.
Well, we haven't
and it's
talked
gonna be
about the
quote unquote
Lightspawn
major.
nerf.
Oh, I mean, I don't think
The
The
what?
Lightspawn
much, right?
nerf, like the huge nerf. They
The
really.
2 attack.
we-
Yeah.
like-
What?
It's kind of crazy. They nerfed Promo Drake by 2/2, and then they only nerfed Lightspawn by 2 attack. like to hit the attack or the health too.
I feel like
The event
a
count.
lot
I don't
more
know.
people were complaining about Ysera than were complaining about Lightspawn.
That
Like,
can't
which is
be
crazy.
right.
Not in
Like,
terms of like streamers, but in
Lightspawn
terms of
is-
people.
Yeah, but I mean, Lightspawn.
I mean,
is
floating
nuts.
watcher was a problem too, right?
Oh, it's really funny if you've seen the Bob's Tavern subreddit. It's really funny when promo was unnerfed. Like every third post was someone at like 6K basically saying, "Oh my god, look at how huge my board is." It's all Sarah promo Tarek. Like every third post. Great. Because it's so brain dead easy to get. So
I used to go to that subreddit a lot. Now I haven't been
No, I understand that you would not go there
for a long
often.
time. But I used to go there a lot. It used to be a nice little spot.
I made a post on there last week thanking Collins.
oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. I was in that post too. I read it. That was the most recent time I went there. And it was the only thing I read.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And good job too.
Good job for sure.
Yeah, okay. Next thing. So that's it for the patches. The events. This is the thing. So this year we had the tail end of the first Dark Moon prizes. We had the return of Dark Moon prizes, and then we had the Diablo event. Discussion time, because I know it's a thing.
So
Can we
So
never
this
do
is
those
Diablo
prizes again?
time, right? This is the Diablo
So
window.
this is it.
So,
This is
okay.
the event time.
this
you
is
get
I'm
to
gonna
talk. This is-
segue here, okay? So one thing about Dark Moon Prize is returning was like you knew on Hero Select that there were prizes in that game.
Right.
Which means that you can pick your hero knowing 100% whether or not that game is going to have this major thing affecting it. With Diablo, you don't know. Right? So like
Yes, you do.
100%, right?
It's in
Like,
every game, dude.
like you like most of the time, yes. Sometimes the Diablo like it's a double token lobby. Sometimes the Diablo player also got offered Hook Tusk, right? And then it's not a Diablo game. And like you picked Kael'thas and you're just like shit.
Okay,
well, that's
don't
your
pick
fault
Kael'thas
for
ever.
picking Kael'thas. Yeah, I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, I just never picked.
Yeah, but
KG.
like, okay, let's say my only playable heroes are Kael'thas and Alexstrasza. If it's a Diablo lobby and I pick Alexstrasza, I'm top 8ing every time.
I make it work, personally.
I'd still take the Alex. Yeah.
No, I would too, but then I would
you,
top 8. and I
I
would be
hear
mad.
you, I hear you.
Like
Fair.
the fact that it's such a major thing that would absolutely have a massive impact on your hero select if you knew and you don't know is tilting.
Okay, but I also have to say, when prizes return, they were in 25% of games. Seeing that purple border once every 4 games made me extremely sad.
I thought it was like a nice change of pace sometimes.
Hey, but compare once every 4 games to like 7 out of 8 games. And the 8th game is the one where I got offered Diablo and it said no more.
I mean, yeah, that was the nicest Diablo games were the ones where I'm offered Diablo and I'm not picking him because I don't hate myself.
Like, I literally told my chat, I was like, I don't need to pick Diablo because if it's not a Diablo lobby, I'm gonna gain MMR.
No, it's
And I
like
don't
did
need to
the
be-
thing.
You could
Did the
also
thing
play
where I triple
Diablo
into
in game.
tank.
You could also play Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
didn't
that's-
need to. I think the other option was Reno, and I was like, Reno's fun. I'm gonna gain MMR because there's no Diablo.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sure.
I think
No,
having
but
an
Reno
event,
can't kill 5 people at the same time.
having an event that relied on one person taking a hero to trigger the event is inherently bad. So it means that the hero has to be overpowered, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to make people want to take it, and people don't want to take garbage, which is what the start of the event was, right? No one picked it because it was bugged and didn't,
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
so
Shady
people
called
didn't
it.
play it, and then it's not an event.
Yeah. Shady was very like, you don't want him strong. You know, otherwise it's gonna be super
That was
toxic.
everybody. It was everybody. We were like, thank God he's weak.
I mean, I wanted it strong, but I was also into the idea of like 2-week event. Like I said, I care less about balance. Like I care about balance, but like I more care about fun for my own self. And so
Sure.
like 2 weeks of like in balance for if it was fun, you know, I was
But we knew
for
it
it.
wouldn't be
was
Because
fun.
we
it
didn't
fun?
know.
Was it that the
Party
Well, we
It
didn't.
wasn't
We didn't know
fun.
what the Diablo. We didn't know what the Diablo design was at the time,
For
so
the
that's why I
rage.
was.
Oh, okay. Before
You
we
know.
knew what the design was. Okay.
It's like, yeah, you got to make it strong, but like you can make it interesting, right? And like, there was potential. But then yeah, then obviously it got to a bad state. I mean, I was the same way with the spells the first time around. I was super excited for them, and they were super fun. Like the first 2 weeks, and then we had them for 6 more weeks afterwards, and they weren't fun because they didn't have any actual decisions because there were just ones that were better. So you just took them, and they didn't make your games interesting. They just made them more high rolly. And right, so that was the issue. Like it went from being interesting to being in too long and not fun anymore. And so when they said Diablo was going to be 2 weeks at the start, I'm like, perfect. By the time that I'm done having fun, it's just gone. Then it didn't end up being like that because they kept it in for 3 more weeks.
Yeah, well, that's just sometimes the nature of it, right? Like they didn't feel like the first go around with Diablo was up to their standards, so decided to change and give some buffs and try again, right? And obviously it was played more. The heroes played more. The event technically was in more games, but was it a better experience overall for all the players? I wouldn't agree. So I think there was a lot of frustration if you're against Diablo and you really felt like you didn't have a lot of options, right? A lot of people were saying that Diablo itself had too much of the high roll potential, that you couldn't really outplay him if the Diablo player was confident. And there were some discussions where, oh no, you can outplay Diablo, just play more tempo, blah blah blah. But
You just haven't figured it out yet.
Even then, you weren't really winning. You're just living longer.
Yeah, I know, and it's
remember?
like the Diablo player can do the same thing, right? Like that's the something that I feel like wasn't really mentioned by the people arguing that point, right? Like the Diablo player can also play full tempo, and they get all the extra stat buffs, and they can kill people too. So,
do you remember the tweet that said you have to play around Diablo as a lobby? That Diablo wasn't a problem. You just had to, as a lobby, play around him together.
I didn't try to comment too much on that, but that was definitely not a great look.
Also,
I'm sure to limit my own comments.
Also, Collins, I like what you just said. The wording that you just used. You said that the original Diablo, when he was released and he was bad, wasn't up to Blizzard's standards.
yeah.
So what they did was they made him imbalanced, broke the game, made it really unenjoyable, and then it was up to Blizzard's standards.
Yeah. I mean, I agree though in that overall it was a negative experience for most players, and so they missed the mark. And I think that because of spells, the first set. I mean, how did you guys feel after 2 months of spells?
I was way ready for it to be gone.
The issue with spells the first round is that they didn't balance it at all. Like
it was crazy that they didn't do a balance pass.
I was like so convinced, like, okay, it's gonna be around for a while. 2 months, okay, they're gonna balance, right? Like, there's no way they're gonna leave 2 months no balance, and then you realize, okay, this is a problem. Change this. Like by the second week at least, you knew these were a problem, and you're just waiting for a month and a half. Like, okay, fix this, and you're just getting frustrated because it's right there. It's very obvious, and that's the problem. Where the second time,
I plan on removing it, so they didn't fix it. But it's we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes.
Well, the thing that they said when they released it, right, is that they were trialing it. That was a specific wording, right? They said that they were trialing it. It's like the idea of additions of spells.
When they brought it back.
I know. Well, they did one pass, but they didn't balance it while it was active. And it was also active for a while, the 25%.
They also didn't balance it when they returned it. They changed it a little, but they didn't balance it.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. If you want to make that argument, yeah.
I would love to make that argument, yes.
Balanced.
Right, I think that the idea of a prize meta or prize lobby like every 4 or 5 games is fine. I actually want that. It's just that the prizes that they actually had were not balanced. Yeah. If they could have it be a permanent thing and balance it, I would love that. I think it would be a fun way to
it
slice up
adds
every few
it adds a
games.
lot of dynamic, and I
I mean,
agree.
nobody
100%
disagrees
agree.
with that.
Right.
Right.
I'm just like pointing it out.
Hey,
I
random
think there's
question.
other ways they could also do events that wouldn't like obviously this would be like crazy hard to implement, right? But like the double hero power type thing, right? Like you get
broken.
2 hero powers or something.
Too broken.
It's super broken, but like for
Yeah.
2 weeks,
I can't play the
it'll
game.
make the game really fucking interesting.
There's MMR in every lobby, Pocky. I can't play the game. What's the random question, by the way?
I'll comment on that real quick. But like, if I have a bad 5 hours, it takes me 2 fucking weeks to gain that MMR back. Like, I don't want to play that shit.
Yeah, that's the big problem. You
Like,
can't climb as
I
fast
lose
as you can
so
lose.
much
yeah.
more MMR than I gain. Like,
That's true.
it takes like 1/8 is the same as like 2.5 first. Like, it's just it's not. There's no. But also, how many of you guys have been rank 1 before?
Yeah.
On any of the seasons, like we have like what 6
Nope.
people in here.
I've been rank 11.
I've been rank 2, I think.
I've done it.
Okay. I read a comment in Collins' chat. I was just wondering. I know at least a few of us have been rank 1.
Okay. Don't worry about them. They're just.
I know. I thought it was ironic because he was coming from the person who was rank 1's chat, right? So.
I mean, it's life. I don't live above me,
I just thought it was very ironic to make that comment.
Fair enough. Anyways,
Yeah.
we can move on, right?
I don't know. I hope they're not afraid of doing events in the future, even though the ones that we've seen so far. I mean, the Diablo one, I feel comfortable saying like it was a bit of a failure. The overall experience between being unplayable and not an event to being an unfun event, like those are 2 things that you don't want out of an event. So I hope they're not scared of it, because like the spells, even if they're not like, there's a lot of ways you can change it, right? You can change it to every 3 turns, every 5 turns, like change what they do and how maybe they interact with hero powers or something, or I don't know, there's definitely options.
Here's what I would be okay with, though. I would not be okay with what you were talking about, where it's like you have 2 hero powers or whatever, and they mix and meld. What I would be okay with if it was more like an ARAM type of lobby where everybody plays the same hero.
Sure, like, but that sort of stuff, like, yeah, like if you get like everyone gets 4 choices or whatever, and then whichever hero receives the most votes,
right,
everyone plays,
right,
or something,
or like everybody plays like Panda, and everybody gets a random hero power every.
Yeah, no, the Panda brawl I brought up, the Panda the all Panda game I brought up. I want that so bad, but I think that's the kind of stuff like that stuff could happen and should happen. I think, because I think events are good if you do it right. The event that impacts one person significantly more than everyone else, and then there are bad ways too, but so I hope there's more, but yeah, since we saw a few this year. Any other comments on events?
I said something. I was muted when you said like impacts one person. I was gonna say, you mean the person who faces Diablo turn 9?
Yeah.
So they meant the person that faces Elise on turn 9.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. so yeah, some better balancing, but I would like to see them try again, but we'll see, because I don't think the spells were super well received at first, but yeah, Diablo was just not well received ever.
Yeah, I didn't mind the spells originally. It just got old, is all. Like
it got old,
and they just didn't balance it. They didn't adjust anything. It was crazy for 2 months. It got so boring. It was like I was gaining MMR at the ass. Like, seriously, it was so easy to high roll on people, and it just wasn't even fun, because it's like this is the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, well, especially with like Brand's Blessing. It
Yeah.
was such free, because like not trying to brag. Like I'm better at Khadgar.
Yeah,
It was-
right.
it was
like
much
I have
easier
an
for me
inherent
to
advantage
win
to
this.
just. I'll out Khadgar you. Good luck. The Khadgar games are fun. I'm not gonna lie. I liked. I enjoyed every moment of those ones, but otherwise.
And the Khadgar was the
Uh,
redeeming factor, not the problem.
If you got Brand's Plus, or if you
These
didn't
are
get Brand's
these are
Plus,
like
then
some
game sucked.
these are some like repeat stuff, but just like quick going over like the recaps of things that left. You know, Sensei left, Bolivar left, Illustra was in the game this year. Chirachi left, Imp Gang boss, a classic drunk bot's gone. Sneeds, it's like an in memoriam.
Yeah, we've
Vlog
talked
Talk,
about
you
a
remember
lot of
Togwaga
them.
was like actually good.
It was
Remember?
good
Like
for
that was
a
actually like
For
a
a brief moment, it was,
tempo.
yeah.
like what right when Dragons came out, it was like, yeah, this thing is gonna carry me.
Can I take a second to appreciate Imp Gang Boss, like, and then compare it to like the Imp right now on one?
Which one's better? You know, I have to
It's
ask
close,
myself.
isn't it?
It is kind of close, right? Because like in this
Like-
meta, I would argue like Icky Imp's just
Icky
better.
Imp is probably just
Yeah,
because
and then that
it's
was
3
funny.
cards that die instead
Yeah,
of
guaranteed.
Like, just one.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
very
Imp
weird.
Gang boss was worse than. I mean, it was worse than Imprisoner for a long time.
Yes. Like it's just
And
strictly worse
so-
than a prisoner.
Yeah.
Funny.
So I don't know if there was anything else, but there was other stuff that left, but a lot of it was the revamp stuff.
You miss Faceless
Um,
Tavern Goer. That card is so busted though.
No.
Like yeah, it's too strong. It needed to go. I
It's
don't.
fun,
Yeah.
but it should not be in the game.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they could try moving it to 6. The other thing that Faceless, I was ranting about Faceless when they hit Khadgar, because Faceless is another thing that just like made Khadgar worse, right? Like more of an issue. Because you could triple your Khadgar easier. Or you would triple into like a bunch of Facelesses, and like that's good also.
Yeah, because you're already going
And-
for 5s anyway with your
Yeah.
triples, like to try to find Brand Mama.
I'm ready to
So-
see tier 7 minions. I'm ready.
Me too.
Yeah, bring
Would that
it.
be
Me
triple?
too, I'm
Would that be triple
super ready.
only, or can you go to tier 7?
Yeah, triple only.
I would
Triple only.
yeah, triple only. I would like
You have
triple.
to triple a 6-drop.
What about tripling?
Yeah.
What about not having it
I
be
don't
minions
know.
and having it just be a spell that you get to choose?
That'd be cool.
Ooh.
That'd be
Like
into
a
that.
prize meta, you know? Type
That's
you
a
get
really
to choose,
interesting
you
idea.
get to choose spells.
Yeah, yeah, like a powerful spell.
Has.
Like, what if there's something that
That
like you could
sounds
change
busted.
a minion's?
That's hilarious.
What if you could change a minion's scribe or something? Yeah, you
Yeah,
can make
it doesn't,
poison
it doesn't
cleave
have
or
to
something.
be like ice block or whatever, but like you know what I mean. It could be
Yeah,
whatever.
but I
random
mean,
spells.
you know, that'd be cool.
Because there isn't enough reward for people leveling to 6 and spamming 6-drops yet.
Nah, I need
Exactly.
more. I need more. You know, give me another. Give me
Listen,
some
I'm
show.
gonna be on Tavern 6. Any advantage I can get is great.
Yeah. I mean, but you can make it harder to get to 6, right? By changing other things. I don't know. So that's the old minions, just a sampling of some of the ones that left. Here's our new minions. We got a lot of familiar faces now. You know, Gem Sweater, Nest Matron, Seafood Slinger, Hamul, Mackerel, Sefin, Felbat, Lightspawn, Promo.
Do you have a
Most of
favorite?
the new stuff is from the
Any favorites?
Of the cards on my screen.
Yeah,
Witch
of the
Wing.
cards of you on the screen.
Witch Wing for sure.
Chewing. Okay.
Which Wing is fun. I don't know if it's a favorite.
I would agree.
Like on
I
the
like-
screen.
I like the design of Humul. I really am a fan of the Humul
I
design.
like the
yeah.
design of Felbat. I'm a fan of that one. So.
So
I
it's
did-
fun.
Yeah, I
I
just
feel like we
don't
didn't
like the
talk
part
about
where I'm
that
freezing
properly.
for something and then it's no longer there. So
I feel like we didn't give Felbat its proper due. The ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a really cool card, and it opens, and the demons eating demon stuff in the shop is a pretty unique mechanic, and
Yeah.
I like that
It's really cool
design.
design.
Yeah.
It's a unique mechanic.
I
Because
was really
you can't freeze triples, which is interesting. And the best part I think about it is it actually introduces I was gonna say interracial, but intertribal
fell about
synergy.
Lightspawn, Nomi
Yeah.
type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can literally like be playing Lightspawn and just you triple into a Felbat and it's like all of a sudden you have 2 random 60/60
You get
demons
some
on your board.
colorful babies. I hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you find one Hamul with like like Fellbat.
I
and
did that earlier today. I played
Yeah,
two
like-
games.
Two turns later, you have like 150 demons on you.
I do want to say one thing that knocks down Fellback quite a bit for me is that if you go pure demons, you're just gonna go poison at the end anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Even if you have Fellbat, if you're pure demons, you're gonna go poison anyway because Fellbat on its own isn't enough.
Every comp has to end up with Reborn.
Golden Fellback can outpace the lobby.
Right, I think, but
I mean,
that's
if you
kind of
kill
the
people
problem.
fast
That's my
enough, right?
problem, right? You're getting a level of scaling that basically forces everybody to go poison. Right? Nobody's even gonna ever bother trying to compete on stats. They see like, oh, my opponent is like demons. Okay, yep, 7. Yep. Screw my board.
Yeah. True. True. Let's see. I think there's some more stuff going into that. Oh, this is a funny slide. This is really cheeky. So props to me for putting this together. Here's the old heroes that aren't in the game anymore, guys. Does anyone know what old heroes were removed this year and aren't in the game right now?
Here.
Yeah, when I looked at this slide, I'm like, damn, I didn't know all of these were removed this year. And I don't even remember some of these cards. I mean, heroes.
I don't think they
Yeah.
were removed.
So here's the
this year.
thing.
None of these were removed.
None of those.
Yeah.
None of these were removed this year.
Okay.
There were no heroes that were removed this year that aren't in the game. This is cheeky because I've been a big proponent in speaking out about hero rotation, and we don't need 9 billion heroes as options every game all the time.
Well, they do
Okay.
that because it makes the perks better.
So Lady Vash was terrible.
but
Putricide was terrible. Sylvanas was terrible. I don't even
Giant Fin
remember
was
what Giant
terrible.
Fin did.
Giant
Your
Fin-
first
Your
minion
minion
got
got
20
one gold
attack.
Because hero powering was a misplay.
No, that's Giant Fin was 1 gold. At the start of combat, give all your minions death rattle, summon a 1/1 Murloc.
All your Murlocs, right?
That would actually be kind
Just
of
all your minions.
annoying right
but some of
now.
them was.
Imagine that with Sephin. Oh Jesus.
So
oh yeah,
I think
that sounds really strong actually in this
so.
meta.
Nefarian sucked at the
shit,
time that they
Voltana.
removed him, but I think Nefarian would actually be
Yeah.
kind of okay right now.
Nefarian?
Yeah.
Nefarian was the best hero for a long time.
I always thought
That
Nefarian
sucks.
was a bait. Ever since it came out, I was like, damn, people love Nefarian. I think it's a bait. It's so
I thought it was terrible, but
Yeah.
I think it would be good now.
The stats were really good at the start. Because mechs were
It was
so
okay
prevalent.
when Amalgam was
You
in
just-
the game. Right?
Wait,
Yeah, Ghoul.
stats? What are you talking about? The stats?
or the
The
shields.
one damage, the ghoul that only hit their side of the board. Right?
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
a ghoul.
It was good. Bartendertron was playable. Bartendertron was a really sad situation where
I remember
it was actually very playable right before Omu got added.
Omu is literally just a Bartendertron, but twice as good.
Yeah. So it was very sad.
I don't know.
Well, not literally.
I remember hating on Bartendertron and Kibler was like, no, this card hero is good. And I'm just like, ah. And it's just like, that sticks out to me because no one else was defending him, but Kibler really liked the hero. So, yeah.
I liked Bartendertron a lot, but I also liked power leveling. So
Oh, so
yeah.
some of the chat wants to recap the heroes. We talked about Giant Fin. Lady Vaj, I believe, was once you
Lady
once
Vaj,
you
when
leveled
you
your
leveled,
tavern, everything got
upgraded your
upgraded.
They
in the
upgraded
tavern by
everything in the
+1.
shop by 1. You couldn't freeze triples in level. You couldn't freeze level.
Right. You'd have
That
to
was really
if you
dumb.
froze, you would have to what you'd have to do is you would have to not level, or you'd have to hold it in hand, or like you'd have to like freeze after you like bought 2 other minions and then buy and then level. Like it was
Yeah,
it was
it was-
very
it was
awkward when
bad.
triples frozen.
Putricide
Putricide
was it went through a lot of iterations actually. It went through like 4 iterations. They really wanted to make it work. First it was like spend a gold, give your leftmost minion like 10 attack, then it was like 20 attack, then it was like give whatever you want, a bunch of attack.
Oh, yeah.
it was
They
always-
did do that. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It just
and
never was
Sylvanas
done.
might have been the worst of all of them.
No.
Sylvanas was horrible. Sylvanas was
Really?
a zero
Sylvanas wasn't
cost.
that
It was bad.
horrible.
It was bad.
Compare it to Mutinous.
I mean, compare it to Mutinous. Oh boy. Sylvanas
different times. You know?
It was different times, but it was 0 gold. Destroy a minion on your board and give the adjacent minions 1/1. So it's basically a 1 gold
not
2/2
destroy it.
buff.
Yes.
Destroy would have been
Sure,
good.
right.
Like Destroy would have been
Yeah,
broken.
you can compare battle cries, but it
Especially
was
with
not
the triple
not
mechanics at the time.
or
you
death
just make
battles,
a
I
big
mean.
rat pack. Get,
Um,
10 golden rats.
Yeah,
You
just
basically
keep
gave
hero
away
cards
1
on.
gold for a 2/2 buff.
Yeah, it's plus
Yeah.
1 gold, 2 plus 2 plus 2. I mean, that's not the worst, you know. It's
That was
okay.
terrible
bad.
even back then.
Because you didn't have stuff that you wanted to destroy or remove.
In comparison, Clunker is a 2 gold plus 2 plus 2. How many Clunkers you bought this? Like, you buying a lot of Clunkers these days?
Oh.
Yeah, but if it's 1 gold though.
Because
Yeah,
back then-
one
back
gold
then you bought
conquer,
Clunkers.
I'd buy it. You know, yeah. I remember, baby,
Tyrion-
you loved this hero, and he swore by it, you know, back then. So I don't know. I think it was a different time. That's all.
That's true. I hated it. I thought it was awful.
Yeah, and then
Tyrion
Tyrion was just 1
boring as
mana,
hell.
give all
Tyrion-
tribeless here or tribeless minions +1.
You ended
Yeah,
up going
it was
demons a
it was
lot.
the best hero in the game for a long
Yeah.
time.
It was. But that's because there
Um,
were like Selfless Hero was on 1. You had a Divine Shield Taunt on 1.
Yep, Righteous Protector.
Righteous Protector, yeah. Bolvar was still in the game. Like there were other ways. They removed it, I think, around
There was
the
a
same
bunch
time
of
that
other random neutral stuff. Like on 3 and 4, I don't even remember what they were.
There was a crowd favorite.
like
I
the
love
stuff
that
for,
crowd
like,
one.
favorite.
Yeah, I
They
love
had
that
crowd
one.
favorite.
Crowd
They had
favorite.
the
Amazing.
they had the taunt that not a taunt, but it was a 4/5 on Tavern 3 that gave your taunt minions +2 attack. That was neutral.
Phalanx Commander.
Yeah.
Oh
that worked out really well.
yeah,
Divine
that
Shield
one.
Taunt.
I remember that. Yeah, that was true. Damn, that was a
Actually,
different game.
I miss crowd favorite actually. I
Yeah,
forgot all about
I
it.
really liked Crowd Favorite.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
a fan of him too.
a lot of people like Crowd Favorite. Crowd
was
Favorite
another
was
good
like
hit
a-
on AFK.
really good for like.
Hey,
It was a really
did you
good,
say
like,
Crowd Favorite was a crowd favorite.
Yes.
Oh,
No, it
Exactly.
wasn't.
Aptly named.
But it was favored by high MMR players because it's something where when you juice the extra stats, like you would just be able to like beat people that would just like ignore the crowd favorite, right?
It was in during a time where Menagerie was huge, so you were cycling so many buffs anyway.
yeah.
Like it grew so big.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was bigger than your biggest minion. Like it became
Yeah.
your biggest minion. A lot of the
Yeah.
games that you're just like, yeah,
Especially if you goldened it. Like, it
yeah.
was just-
Especially when you
was-
tripled
yeah,
it,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, like, you like go Cali and you're like, damn it, I want to sell this thing.
I know, but it's too big. I can't get rid of it.
It's just an honorary
Um,
dragon for me. That was how I was
Yeah, but like you'd have
Yeah.
an Adina and you'd be like, shit.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
120 minion. I'm just like, you're honorary.
doesn't even need to have a divine shield on.
Yeah.
Fine.
You get it. And then Bartendertron made tiers 1 less.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so nothing was removed this year, and it just is a point to like how many heroes are in the game right now.
So they added
Yes.
8 new heroes this year and did.
No, I didn't
Only
even add all
8?
the new heroes.
Only 8. That sounds.
There's a
very
lot
low.
more. There's a lot
Yeah,
more.
That sounds.
There's a lot
okay.
more new heroes.
I was just looking at
I
the
just did a
slide.
sample because it's
Casman.
too much to. I didn't want to go
Casman's
through.
not here.
I mean,
like,
we saw. Yeah.
it's way more than 8 for sure.
Oh, I guess
Like
Cariel's not
Blackthorn,
here either.
Black- that's what I
Blackthorn,
meant,
Carry.
yeah.
There's a lot missing. Zarella, like there's a lot that they added.
Yeah, 20 minion,
they
20
didn't
new
remove any.
heroes. They removed nothing. Sounds correct.
Well, they even returned heroes, right? Too.
yeah.
Like Galliwix came back, and like Log Toggle was technically out of the game before this year.
I
and
would
then
have
came back
loved
this
to
year.
see a screen with like 40 heroes on here, like all tiny. Like
Yeah. That's where I was like, nah, we're just gonna pick 8 random ones.
I would have loved to see that screen. Like, oh yeah, like they've added 27 new heroes this year. I would have loved to see that.
I figured the one with the removed heroes would make my point well enough that nothing left. Like nothing left. That's crazy. They just leave the garbage in.
All the heroes are balanced. Is basically what they're saying. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, totally.
Armor exists, clearly.
Armor fixes everything.
Tamsin has 10 armor. It can't be bad. Does she even have 10 armor?
Yeah, she
I don't
is not.
think
Yeah,
so.
she has it. Yeah.
Hey, real
Oh, she
talk.
does?
I actually don't mind Patchwork that much.
Yeah, Patchwork is good.
Yeah, it's
Like
fine.
63
That's
health.
fine.
Like
yeah,
I'm-
Patchwork is great. Like,
No,
I
I just wish they changed his health to health. instead of armor. Like change his tier and give him his health back.
Funny enough, the
It
armor
helps
is
Battlemaster,
like,
helps get the
actually
goes.
worse for him. Actually worse
Yeah.
for him, yeah.
It is worse.
Oh, I see.
And like you can give him 60 health, like so.
But the coding, you know.
That'd be cool.
The
coding.
Yeah, too much.
The win rates would change if he had 63 health instead of 63 health. It's a disaster.
It might change a little bit, to be fair. Like you get like a
yeah, because it would be better.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a slide on Battlegrounds 2.0. So this was an interesting thing because it was a big deal. So overall, would you guys say it was a success?
Yeah.
The revamp.
Yes.
Jake Herrick, Sleepy.
Sounds like a yes.
I said yes.
Yeah, probably.
Jake Herrick's a little shifty. I thought it was a great success. Obviously the event stuff right now feels iffy, but I think the tribal changes moving to sort of thematic identities was great. I think overall the game got a lot more fun to play and more dynamic. They got rid of a lot of like just garbage, boring stuff to play, like homunculus and dragon spawn and Shiraji. Just kidding about Shiraji. It's a joke, but I thought it improved the gameplay. Follow-up question: would you like to see another revamp, like a serious, like just like overhaul of things?
Yeah, they just delete the tokens as the revamp. I'm done.
Like,
Pay me the money,
raise
Blizzard.
the power level.
Like take 2 cards out. Yep.
Pay me the money, Blizzard. I wouldn't mind seeing changes. Yeah.
Alternatively, they could just give every tribe token.
Oh yes,
It would be an
I see
alternative.
no way this could go wrong.
Or
Every lobby is a 6.
Every
lobby
tier
is
1
5
minion is now a token.
Or
It's not double token; it's 5 token.
you could remove the tokens entirely, and everybody gets a gold. Everybody gets 1 coin to start the game.
That'd be interesting too.
I think the thing I thought about this a while ago, and what I would say is instead of a coin, it's a discount on a minion. Because I don't think you want to let Alex go 5-on-5 every time she gets a token turn 1.
Well, no, you'd remove tokens and give everybody a coin.
Yeah.
No, but wait, you would remove all economy, is what you're saying.
Correct, but everybody would get a coin to start the game.
Oh, if you remove all economy, that's weird though.
But that puts everybody on the same
is
plane.
Weird, yeah.
It puts everybody.
Like,
I understand.
The thing is, I have a problem with Alley Cat and Tidehunter. I don't have a problem with
Alex.
Yeah, I don't have that big. I mean,
but if Alex can hit Selly and Swabby and go 5-on-5, whatever, it's good.
No,
it's not good.
I'd say whatever. But...
It's not good.
Alex going 5-on-5 and using her entire first prize to do that was still insanely broken when everybody had a prize on turn 4.
Yeah, that's the entire reason that Alex was good during prize meta.
Yeah, but there was more things. It was easier to hit on prizes. It's not that easily to hit 2 minions.
Yeah, but you're on 5.
Think about the Jandis games you don't hit
tokens. You're on 5.
Let me just do the math. I'll do the math and tell you what the odds are.
Well, it's the same as hitting token on Jandis. It's exactly the same.
I do like the discount on the minion. I think that solves some problems, where people just use the coin to level that's what I would do anyways.
Oh, okay. When you say a discount on a minion, like, what do you mean by that? Like,
it's a spell.
It's a spell that says your next minion costs
2.
1 less.
Costs 1 less. Yeah, that sounds
okay.
It's 42% by most lobbies.
So essentially, no matter what, you could double buy on the
what?
Yes,
Wait,
you would be able to double buy on turn 3 with my thing, but you just wouldn't be able to use it to like 4-on-4 every game or 5-on-5.
Yeah, that'd be fine. It's essentially the same thing I'm saying, except it's less versatile and more minion based.
Right. It's fine. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, would you guys like to see more frequent, bigger changes?
Of course.
Like these huge patches
every week.
Or you like more iterative?
As long as they don't feel the need to massively increase the power level.
I'm
I
going
would
to.
like to see. First I want to see what happens if we like have frequent, but like even just small changes frequently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I agree with you guys, but I'm gonna be the voice of Shady here because he hates this. He hates. It's the reason why he doesn't play like TFT and stuff like that. He hates when the game changes too much. It's too much complexity. He really likes it when you can understand the meta, understand. Oh yeah, this is why it's good, and really refine that skill to be that little bit better than other players, and he really enjoys that. So he would not love to see bigger changes, and I just I know a lot of us here are very like changes, patches, yes. I want to give Shady's opinion since he's not here, but I know what he was saying.
No, I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a like a. I don't think it's a gimme question where everyone's gonna say yes. Like I think it's very fair to say I don't want a revamp. Like what if there's a revamp every year?
That's fine.
Would we like that or no?
I'm
That'd be
okay with that.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Every
that's
3
fine.
months, please. Give me,
I
give
don't
me
know, I
every time there's a
think-
ladder. Give me a new battlegrounds.
I think that the revamp, like this revamp, it's taking a lot of time to smooth things out, and so I don't know if I want that every year.
But
right?
is
Like-
that
like,
is
think
that the
about-
fault of the revamp or is that a fault of Blizzard?
I mean, it's just like the
think it's anything, right?
unless and until like they invite top level players to playtest the game, this is going
If
to be
only,
the amount of
right.
time. Right. Like
It'll
this is
never
going to be how
happen.
long it takes to balance post
Yeesh.
a major change.
Yeah.
Right? Because they cannot anticipate the level to which a top level player is going to be able to abuse certain mechanics, especially like APM intensive mechanics like Witchwing.
No, I mean the revamp, the Doomsayer Frog thing was very. I mean, how many people were like? They were like, we play tested it, guys. It's great.
Oh no,
Game
Doomsayer
is in a
Frog
better
is
state
like,
than
that's a
they
different story.
ever-
But I'm talking
that's
about
ever
like
been.
Witchwing and like Witchwing right now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like the thing is, they don't even need high level players to play test it. Like, let us read the patch notes for 5 minutes. Like we've basically predicted all the things that have been wrong with the game before they've even been put into the game.
Yeah,
Well,
mostly.
except for the ones that were bugged. You didn't
Sure,
take Wealth
sure.
Smuggler
Right,
as a
yeah,
new
right.
version.
Wealth Smuggler
Sure,
doesn't
but,
seem
like-
like it should add 150 health.
Like,
Oh, it
when they-
does. Oh, it does
you
add
can,
150
you can look at Doomsayer and be like, okay, well, clearly that's not okay. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on.
it would
Alright.
help. I would agree with you. That would help a bit. Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see more frequent ones, but I totally see the understanding, like the perspective of not. So that's why I even brought it up.
Like I like the idea of frequent tweaks.
I
Like,
love it too.
like every week, literally every week. Like if you want to have armor, which is like really easy to change, like
I don't
tweak
think I'd
that
want
every
week.
or like every other
Okay,
week.
maybe armor. Maybe armor.
Yeah, armor. I'm talking about like armor and something like that, like really small changes, and like every couple weeks, maybe like a couple cards.
Be
get
careful what you ask
stat
for though,
lines
because like
changed.
Colin said, like soon enough, then they're changing armor every week, and they're not giving you any other changes.
See, I like
oh,
the
change the
idea.
armor. You're good.
I like that idea, but I would take it one step further. I wish that every week or every two, however, whatever rotation they want to use, they would have a hero rotation where like 15 heroes are out this.
I
this-
would love a
this week.
hero rotation.
That'd be cool.
I
Is
love
it
a hero
Dota
rotation.
that buffs and nerfs the strongest and weakest hero, like statistically? Is that Dota does that? Where they take
I don't
They did
know.
not do
I know
that when I played.
I know League of Legends has a hero, like a free to play hero rotation, and it would be something similar to that.
No, I'm
Like,
saying
for every
like
week.
design wise, like they would take the highest win hero and the lowest win hero and
Not
give them a
Dota, when I
buffer and
played.
nerf. Okay. There was something
Yeah, like-
maybe it was Dota Auto Chess or something like that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There was something I remember where
That's
they would-
also those are also games where you can make much more granular changes, right? When you have like, this
Yeah,
unit
sure.
has
Change the
6,000
attack by
attack.
this.
Like,
Yeah, they're just
like,
changing numbers.
now you have 5,995.
But yeah, pretty much. But like Shudder and Hooktusk wouldn't be nearly as annoying if 1 week out of the month they were not in.
No, I totally agree. And you would change the meta, right? What if
Yeah.
what if all the token abusing heroes were out for 3 weeks?
Right.
Like that would be very interesting, and you would be able to like, hey, let's figure out this non-token abuse meta, right? It's Max. Surprise, but
No, it'd still be token abuse.
Spoiler alert.
You would just abuse tokens with heroes that are not necessarily token abusers right now.
Sure.
Every hero.
But
could
you get
be
my
a
point. You get my point.
hero.
You could have like mini metas where like KT and like some of these tempo heroes are better, because they just are.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't know. It would be really interesting. I would love a hero rotation. Okay. Next thing. Cosmetics. We already talked about it. Is there any other cosmetics that you want to see? And then Battle Pass is something to talk about. So this time they have Battlegrounds rewards in the Battle Pass. And there was rumors that they're gonna do a BG centric Battle Pass in the future. So that's kind of cool.
That.
I mean, they were talking about doing like entire progression things for BG, right?
Yeah.
Like right now you earn some XP or whatever, and you get like golden standard packs and stuff. They were talking about doing stuff specifically
well,
like
you get
for
now you get
BGs.
Battleground stuff in the Battle Pass, so that's cool-ish.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the Battle Pass has like the hot chocolate bob is in the Battle Pass.
Don't look at the Battle Pass whatsoever, and I think most Battleground players don't either. So,
Yeah, I mean,
right,
like,
which is why it would be good for them to have its own thing.
Yeah, like a Battlegrounds has its own Battle Pass, like sure. Like as long as there is no competitive advantage that is strictly locked behind a paywall, go ahead. I don't care, right?
Sure.
As long as it's all cosmetic.
Yeah, it has to be. You can't add pay to win like past perks anymore. Like the game's been out for too long. You can't it's not gonna have the right response.
It still needs to grow, right? Like the game still needs to grow in terms of player base. It's not at a point where it's just like I don't know.
Or at the very least, they need to make it unlockable with.
Sure.
Like if there's a monetary value that you can spend to unlock it, there also needs to be a gold value.
Right, like perks. Like
I could see them doing like new heroes and being like, you gotta pay 500 gold to unlock this, or $5.
Right.
Don't listen to that. I hope they don't do that, but I could
It's
see
hilarious because like very often
they have the
it's
option
like
of
I'm
not
not
taking
playing. I'm not buying Cario. Like what the? What's going on here? Like no.
like if you could actually like lock heroes for yourself, like I would pay money to.
I would actually probably
heroes.
spend money on that. Yeah, if I'm never gonna get Bartendotron offered, I'd probably pay $5 to lock it. Why not?
Is there anything else that you guys would like to see for monetization? I know it sounds weird. Like it always is like a weird spot when, or at least I feel weird. I don't know about you guys. When I'm like, I want them to add monetization to the game. Like it just sounds like really shilly.
I feel like the question is like, what would you actually want? What would like if they had it? Like, would you actually buy this? Right? I feel like that's the.
Well,
question.
I want them to add value to the cosmetics, right?
Yes.
Emotes would be a thing, right? Like, what if your banana Moogla had banana emotes, right?
They need animated skins with voice lines when you beat them and kill them. You know, like you're like playing animated Lich King and you kill him and he jumps out of the screen. He's like, get wrecked or whatever. I don't know what the lines are. But, you know.
So you're saying that since they don't want us to skip the fights, they should have a reason for us to not skip the fights?
Yes, exactly. To see the Lich King animation.
Yeah.
But make it so good that if you skipped a fight, your chat would lose it. They'd be like, "No, we were gonna lethal them."
No, we're adding even more animations to make the fights take longer.
No. You know how at the very end, like they do that slow, like add the points up and then like wham, and then it comes back. You can add a long animation in that wind up time for sure. So
but that would only be if you win your fight.
But like Blizzard wouldn't do it that way.
Well, I kind of agree with you, but they should look at
two animations at the same time. That's too much. That's too much to add.
I would love for them to have more value on the cosmetics though. Like the bartenders, I think the bartender. So I was really disappointed when the board change is only the combat board, because the
and it's not
tavern
clickable.
board is so
it's not
boring.
Clickable. I want to click on
it's
stuff,
not clickable.
Dude. Yeah, it's man,
yeah,
where
really,
my clickable stuff?
Yeah. So yeah, like the boards should be clickable, but I also wish the bartenders had like their own bars. Like a little flavor on the tavern board would be great for me. I spend a lot of time looking at it. It's unbelievably boring. And if people don't want it, they don't need to have it. It's a cosmetic. Like people can say, "Oh, well, I like that it's not distracting." Don't use it then. Like have it a toggle. Like have custom tavern or not custom tavern or whatever. But like there just could be a little more value. If I'm spending, $10 to $15 for, a JPEG.
Is there a way to have a cosmetics on minions? Because I feel like that's an area.
Yes, for sure. I would love to see that too.
They could do bundles that way too. Like here's the beast bundle. You get like skins for all your beasts.
It's just like
that would be nuts.
The thing is, you need to figure out a way to do it where it's not like extra confusing, right? Because you don't want to have a situation where people then have to now like mousing over a hero is one thing, right? Because you literally assuming they actually aren't annoyingly named.
Well, if it only mattered in fights, you don't really need to see fights, right?
Yeah, but if you don't know the game and you don't know what the minion is that your opponent has, and you have to mouse over it to figure out what it is.
At low MMR, where people are really starting, my guess is they wouldn't be running into people with full minion.
Yeah, but okay, if they're releasing minion skins regularly, I would have to do that because I would need to learn new skins every 2 weeks, and I would not want to deal with that.
I still don't know what the mech skin heroes are. If there's one in my lobby, I will not know what their hero power is unless I hover over their hero.
Oh yeah, the heroes.
The minion transforms into the skin at the beginning of the fight, so you get to see what the minion is before it gets the skin.
Or maybe borders or something. I don't know.
I still have to ask when I co-op with, because I co-op quite frequently. When I co-op with people, I still have to ask what some of the heroes are because I don't have any of the skins and I don't use any of the skins. So when I see a new hero that doesn't have the hero's name in the skin, I'm not even sure what they are.
Dude, I have the skins and I don't know sometimes.
I'm pretty sure you were the person that I've asked most recently what the hero was, because I thought a hero, because it was Lich King, but I thought it was Barav. Remember?
Oh yeah, and I didn't know either. Just what is that?
Somebody in my chat who was in my game was like, "Oh, I gave Rafam a Tidehunter because I didn't realize it was Rafam."
Oh yeah. The mech Rafam is the mech ones are really bad.
Yeah, those are
recognizability.
Those are
Tess doesn't look like Tess.
They all look
is
trash.
Barely recognizable.
They all look the same, and
they all look very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, realistically, I would never buy minion skins because it took me too long to figure out what all the pirates look like, so that when I'm playing Golden Hogger, I can just roll buy.
You're right. Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't want to change the way they look.
Yeah, but if you do it with the border, then the border can make it easier to see which ones are the pirates.
That's true. That's also
if you just only enable the pirate borders.
They recently made that change to the heroes. Did you guys notice? That's what the purple border is. The purple border so that you can distinguish Battlegrounds heroes from other heroes.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
If you're buying them, so people don't accidentally buy Battlegrounds heroes and be like,
"Oh,
here's my mage skin." It's like, nope.
I think you spend more time in the cosmetic screen than I do.
Yeah, I've never.
Someone asked it on Twitter. I just remember these things. I didn't know. You guys didn't notice that the border of the heroes was purple?
No.
Think what is this about?
I just learned the other day that Scab's hero power lights up if you can press it and doesn't if you can't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then. Anyways, my point is that borders could be a thing. For different tribes. I don't know. So, anyone else have any ideas for monetization?
I would definitely enable borders for pirates only. That would definitely be a thing.
You wouldn't even need to do it for pirates only. If it was for everything, you just remember hey, pirates are red. Buy red.
True.
To ignore all the other colors.
True.
There's no
I would like that.
There's no special borders for top placements. If you top place last season, there's nothing. There's no way to know.
Right.
Yes, I was leaderboard rewards. That would be that's yeah.
I might actually care. Right now, I do have a reason next time, but maybe that would help.
There should be some type of way to acknowledge.
Would it require a working leaderboard? True. Okay, so that's enough for cosmetics.
Sure.
Competitions, tournaments. So These are the tournaments that I remember. The FTK Invitational was in March. The Battlegrounds Brawl Invitational was in May with the Quillbar stuff. The Hearthstone Global Invitational was a few months ago. Twitch Rivals was October, November. I had some tourneys, just self-plug there, had to do it. Couldn't resist. There was a bunch of other grassroots community tourneys hosted by Blurby, Terry.
I had
tons
some.
of.
I had some.
Yeah. You had like a league for a little bit,
For like
too, and then
3 weeks.
yeah.
I got
The
tired.
league stuff sounds crazy.
I
That
did it.
sounds-
I
it's
did.
so
I
much
had
work.
tournaments every day for like a week. It was so. It was like, what am I doing?
It was crazy. I saw that. I was watching some
It
of
was
them too.
fun. It was fun, but it's so much effort, right? I gotta give him credit
Yeah.
for the people that do that.
Swaybe had some. Blurby had a bunch. So
I think Slyssa
Yeah.
had some.
Slyssa
Slyssa
had some that didn't have prizing. That's well, yeah, they didn't really have prizing. Victor had a few. He had 2 community tourneys this year. So like lots of people did, tourneys. And then there's the THL League. Has been running the HSBG Club. Terry, runs that tourneys every day or
Wait.
whatever. And then Nicolina has the Mooncoin League.
Which one am I thinking of then? Because I played in one. I'm pretty sure it was like a 10K prize pool where Slyssa and Sunglitters were doing the hosting. You remember it? They were
That was the
they were
esports
spectating
arena.
me. That was esports arena. Okay. Because
That was
like
in 2020. I have another slide.
that was
I'm going to talk
2020.
about that actually. Yep.
Oh wow, that was
It was
that was
indeed.
more than a year ago?
There's also one other thing that I missed on the grassroots. The community gaming tourneys are actually not small. The Facebook ones, like $1,000 prize pools. So, yeah. So the discussion topics: team versus solo. The esports announcement was a thing we kind of talked about it already. The streaming versus playing thing is sort of at the forefront. I don't know if you guys saw the stream sniping drama on Twitter in Standard sort of
From
yesterday.
Jay. Dude,
Yeah.
dude. I watch some Standard, and sometimes I'm watching the people getting sniped by Jay, and then like they would talk about it, and then they would host Jay afterwards. And I'm just like, why do you like this person? Like, what's going on?
Like,
You just
yeah,
get sniped,
like,
and then you
what's
host him after. Like, what's going on here? Like, it just blows my mind. I'm not a fan of snipers at all, so it just like it bothers me quite a bit. So, but yeah, I mean, they can do whatever they want. But yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'll move on.
I mean, we'll see. There's also snipers and BGs, so
Of course.
it's less maybe impactful in Battlegrounds, but
I think it's
still a thing.
I think it's very impactful because they get double the knowledge, right? Like even if they're not sniping you
Oh,
specifically,
because they're
they
seeing
get to, yeah,
someone
they get
else's
to
work.
see
You're more than
every
who you face.
yeah, and that's too much of an advantage, like it might not feel like, oh yeah, the snipers, they don't do that much, but the knowledge they get against everyone they face, and then also being able to just counteract
definitely a
what
big
you're trying to
difference,
do is
but-
such a huge difference, especially if they
Yeah.
versus them not knowing anything. So
I had
I was just
sorry, I
Go
had a
ahead,
game
Tav.
like it was 2 days ago because I didn't stream yesterday. I had a game the last time I streamed where for like 6 turns this guy had double 7 on his board, right? 6 health. Like the entire game there was 6 health, 6 health, 6 health. Like I faced this guy, like we were top 2, right? The last turn I picked up 4 ghouls and I was going and with the Baron, right? So I was gonna it's 6 damage AoE to kill his Sephons. He literally sold a poison minion to give them a seer buff. He sold an Amalgadon to give them a seer buff.
you bought 4 goals. Wait,
Yeah, I bought 4 goals.
Let's slow down first of all.
Because I had Baron Selfless, right? Baron Golden Selfless. I played 4 goals so that the 4 goals would auto, like at the start of the fight, the golden ghoul would attack, it would kill the other ghoul, and it would deal 6 damage, kill both the Sephons, right?
Okay.
And he literally sold off his Amalgadon that turn to use a seer buff so that his 2 Sephons wouldn't die. It was just like
That's just
the
coincidence,
craziest thing that I've
That's-
ever heard in my
That's
life.
just coincidence, man. Like, what do
Yeah,
you-
Zalorian was there. He was watching it. Yeah, like it was insane. Like If that guy wasn't sniping, then I've never been more sure of a snipe in my entire life. Put it that way.
Yeah, sniping is definitely impactful. There's definitely snipers too. It's definitely always weird too when you're. I mean, at least for me, I've never said anything bad about snipers because I'm like, I don't have enough viewers to lose one, like, and I can't really stop them from sniping anyways. So
I
what
don't
am I
mind
supposed
Q
to
snipe.
say? But
Like I think Q
snipe is whatever.
Q sniping doesn't.
You
I mean,
literally asked me to
it's
Q
still-
snipe you.
I don't like any
Yeah,
of it.
Sapphire has literally asked people to Q snipe. I mean, I care sometimes when someone like repeatedly Q snipes, but I don't mind that much.
As long as they're high MMR,
Oh.
I kind of prefer it because like it's just better.
I'm gonna be
I
the
mean, if
voice
they're
of
high
reason
MMR, they
here.
often don't even need to.
No.
right?
Any form of sniping, I am not okay with it. This instant like disagreements from me. My rating of personality, you drop. You lose. My attitude towards you goes down. I'm not a fan of sniping in any form. I don't think it's healthy for me or the game or the player base or anything. So I'm just gonna I'm hearing a lot of I'm okay with it. It's fine. But no, I'm not. I'm not gonna allow it. I'm not tolerating it.
I think the
I'm
Well,
moment
no
not a
one's
fan.
somebody
okay with
uses,
actual
like-
sniping, right?
Yeah, like the moment somebody looks at a stream and uses the information that they got there to help their game, like that's a
I
problem.
mean, I don't even like it when people tell me like, "Oh, this person has this."
Yeah,
I
like, that
hate it,
annoys
dude.
me.
It's so annoying. Don't tell me this. I don't want to know. I don't like getting this information. Just let me play, let me learn, let me make mistakes. Stop feeding me things I don't care about. It doesn't help me.
Yeah.
You're just tilting me, really. It's not as good.
Like it's especially annoying when somebody especially when it's like a really polarizing piece of information. It's like I can't make this decision. Like I no longer have the ability.
No, I know, like or something where they're like, they have a really big taunt. And you're like, well, fuck.
Good luck,
well,
dude. He has
okay.
a press doors.
Like, and then,
I don't know. Like I can't know whether what I would have done if I didn't know that, and that's really annoying.
yeah,
right?
it's definitely. I mean, so the hard part, is, I mean, eventually, if you're serious about competing in this Lobby Legends thing, it's a strict disadvantage to stream. We kind of had a little bit of a discussion in Discord, but it's just like a strict disadvantage, and that's weird, right? Like, I get it, but I don't know. It's just
I mean, I think it's just
I don't know.
the
I just wanted
fault
to
of the way
bring
they
it
set
up.
it up, right? In the sense that it's not actually like a separate esports thing. It's just a tournament tied to ladder, or a set of tournaments
Yeah.
tied to ladder, rather than being its own competition.
True.
The problem is like, how do you even like prevent it? Because I remember even as early as like
delay.
Okay, but like,
I mean, if you strictly don't want people to snipe, you can stream on delay. Like, but that's the thing, right? Streaming on delay, in terms of streaming, like we think about it's not streaming.
No.
I mean, the actual solution is to play one server on stream and to actually play 4 Lobby Legends on either another account or another server.
Yeah, but
right?
like,
Off stream.
Yeah, but that means you're playing off stream, right?
That esports 10K arena or 10K tournament that we were talking about from 2020.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was a big sniping incident in that?
Yep. Yeah, I was sniped. I did not qualify, and I was definitely sniped.
Like, and it wasn't.
I remember because it was the
guy.
first one, and I was like, I don't think I'd get sniped. Like,
yeah,
and then
like I don't want
to.
I know who it was, but I don't want to call him out. But like, it wasn't just him. He had other people sniping for him, and it was another well-known person in the community who was doing the sniping for him.
There's 2 other people that were known.
Yeah, well, I one that I personally know and I've personally talked to, and like I thought was actually like a really cool guy.
Yeah, it was disappointing for sure. And sniping definitely
he's more well
happens
known, I guess, in the
somewhere.
arena community than the Battlegrounds community, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember that. And I streamed the next one on delay.
yeah, it's been going on like literally for the entirety of
Like
tournament.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
I can tell you.
Tell me later. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah, I can tell you after. I just don't want to say it like on stream.
I feel you.
I feel them in front of anyone that watches now.
What?
Is there a specific reason other than you want to be polite that you wouldn't actively like say their name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because wanting to be polite is nice and all, but if that person genuinely didn't redeem themselves,
it happened like a year and a half ago.
I think they have redeemed themselves.
They have.
They have.
Thinking, yeah, they have quite a bit of clout and following in the community, and like it just seems wrong.
Yeah, it's not worth it to get into it.
Like I don't care if you guys know. I just don't want to publicly. You know what I mean? Like I'll post it in the chat.
Agreed. So yeah, that's the future. That's the streaming versus playing thing. Future community organized tourneys will be interesting. Blizzard talked about trying to support third-party tourney organizers more. I assume in the form of like publicity. It's a little weird because, as far as I know, almost every community organized tourney has not sought a tourney license from Blizzard, even though they're supposed to. I won't comment on if that includes myself, but you can assume. So I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. I'm also curious if more of the official events dissuades people from playing in more, or makes people want more tourneys, or we'll see. Right now, it's like entirely community organized tourneys. In terms of 10K opens in 2020, we had 2. We had the esports arena one, which was solos. We had WSV, which was duos. 2021, we had none. There was no 10K opens. That's not true. Blurbies was kind of under the radar, but it was also an invitational mostly.
Ish, yeah.
Can you not tell us who the sniper was? I'm sleeping, but I need to know.
I posted it in the Discord
chat. Please.
It's in the Discord chat.
Good morning, son.
Good morning.
I said hello
Yeah.
earlier.
She left.
She just wanted to know that.
She just came to ask me who the sniper was.
You gotta dangle it in front of him, apparently. I don't know. Didn't even say bye,
She just
tells what she wants and leaves. Yeah.
She got her info and left.
Yeah.
That is for the record though, Pocky, is that the 2 that you're talking about? Like,
yeah.
Okay, just make sure I didn't get the wrong.
I know the third too, but it is.
I didn't even hear about a third.
Yeah.
But if the other one is the second one, I would assume I know who the third one is too.
Let's move on.
I don't think it's not.
Yeah,
moving on.
Like, this is just a dumb discussion to talk about.
Let's
keep discussing what we shouldn't talk about on stream.
The duo attorneys are so much better than solo attorneys.
Yes.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
That was the team versus solo discussion.
It's not close to me. Like, this is not even a discussion. There's no discussion here. Solo tourneys are so RNG.
Duo, as in you're both playing in the same lobby, or you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like in the same lobby, communicating.
Okay.
Like,
it's basically
I also
2v2v2.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 of us participated in Twitch Rivals. Did you guys like the Twitch Rivals format?
I did, to be fair.
I was okay with it. I think it could be like improved significantly though. But I like that they did both, right? But I do think
there's a mix.
Your team is better.
But you we're all contributing to the same team score, which I liked. Even in the solo portion.
I really like that. In the invitational, where we were all playing, it was basically just solos, but our points all total together. it was really nice to like have bad games and then like the teammate just carries you.
Your team isn't like
It was so nice. So I like appreciated that. At the beginning of it, when I read the format, I was like, "This format's." I was like, "This format sucks. Like, I'm not gonna enjoy this." Da, da, da. But after playing with it, but I do think I was like, it's biased, right? Because I had like really strong teammates, right? But it felt really good to just like do badly.
I mean, I legit
have
got
like the
hard
team just carry you. It felt really good.
I mean, basically, everyone that
you carried us, and
yeah, I was good with it.
We take those. I think the problem is with tourneys mostly is that the game is sort of RNG heavy. Like obviously it's high skill, but if you're doing a tourney, you can only do so many games. If you're doing it like individually, you're gonna get eliminated really often if it's like 3 games, 2 games, 4 games, whatever, right? So then just having a second person, even if you ignore all the upsides that being with a second person like gives you, right? Like mental and
it's
actual
basically
in-game
getting to play
as
more,
well.
double the game, yeah.
Just that effectively, it's as if you have like twice the amount of games to get points, right?
Yeah, double the sample size.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think it helps a lot.
I also think from the aspect of like esports, like having people watch and be invested, the team is better. I just like find it easier to root for a team versus like if it's a bunch of solos, I'm like, oh well, I kind of just like root for 7 of these people or 10 of these people or whatever, you know. And I don't know, for a team, it feels like, hey, this is the team that I'm hoping does well, and you can hope they all do. I don't know. I guess I'm used to following sports and stuff too.
You also like open
Casting
up
is for
so
sure
much more
better.
opportunity for next level plays, which I think is just
Oh,
good.
for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
That's biased because we're good at it, but yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of
I'm coming
bias
from
here.
the perspective, like I haven't played a lot of duo tourneys. Like I remember we played like the threes and we won that. AKA I just like listened to Jay Carrick and then like got some money for it. Did I get money?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, but I am coming from the perspective of someone who I feel like I've gotten a lot of bad luck in solo tourneys, and it feels really bad because it's just like you can't really do much about a couple like 2 unlucky games or like 1 unlucky game in a solo tourney. And I think like those just become very, very unfun. You know?
Yeah, it keeps people engaged longer. Definitely the duo tourneys too, because if it's like a 5-game slate and 2 games in you took a 7th and an 8th, you're basically checked out mentally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whereas
you have,
if it's
like,
a duo tourney, you're actually not.
But, like, especially in those, basically what you're going to do is you're going to hard force your best option to get first place, which means either you get first place or you top 8 again.
Or there's a ghost in the lobby on
turn
turn 7.
Checked out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it not only does it run the tournament for you, it runs the last couple rounds of the tournaments for other people because they're no longer playing a standard lobby.
Yeah, just generally like playing a lobby where somebody doesn't care.
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
annoying.
That's
right, because like somebody doesn't care, and then they're just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna like buy blacksmiths, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and kill people or play spoiler.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, and then you just get so much match RNG.
Like, I don't like that guy. I'm gonna triple into a 3 against him.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2020 we had 2 10K opens, the Esports Arena and WSOE. In 2021 we had none. In 2020 Battlegrounds was new. It was quite popular. Do you think in 2022 that we'll have any, or do you think sponsors maybe kind of lost interest because there hasn't been anything?
Haven't they already announced? Like Blizzard has announced like 500K or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of opens, but I don't know.
Not really.
They're not opens in that you just sign up and play the tourney, right?
They're opens in that you just a small
You can
qualifying
qualify,
round
but,
of know being like the top in the world. That's all. just a small qualifier there.
So I don't. I'm not counting those. I'm not counting those, regardless. The other ones had actual sponsors.
I thought we'd talk more about the competition specifically. But yeah.
The Lobby Legends.
No, like the F2K, the Battlegrounds Brawl, the
Tribals. Yeah, I mean, I think they were interesting. We can do that for sure. I mean, you have experience in like most of these. I think you played like almost all of them.
I do. I mean, that's where I get the money. It's not the streaming. It's how much.
Something that I'd be interested in, from an organizational perspective, do you notice like significant differences between the Blizzard run tournaments and the like non-Blizzard run tournaments? And you've competed like a lot of both.
I there's definitely a difference. I would say that like the Blizzard ones are more professional, but I don't know if that means it's like more well run. I do think in terms of like how well run it is, it's more just like company to company or so. Like definitely there, and also like experience, right? Like I've done the same event twice, and then like the first one's like atrocious, and then the second one's like, oh, this is actually bearable, you know. And I just do think like having more experience in running tournaments do help a lot, especially like the leagues and stuff. Like the leagues, I feel are really smooth just because they do it so often. It's like it's just a standard for them, right? So at this point when you're doing them, it's like everything's smooth, everything's well run because they've done it like 30, 40 times already. So there's not any hiccups. They have replacements in case people miss and stuff like that. Like you don't find that normally in like any tournament where you're like, okay, here are like 5 replacements like on the fly in case someone drops out like the last second, right? So I do think Blizzard tournaments are usually pretty good just because they have the money, they have the producers, right? So you're not going to have like technical difficulties where if you're doing like a community run tournament, right, like people's internet drops down or people like don't know how to have flies and there's no like transitions or even the breaks are like off the cuff. They're not structured or scheduled, right? Where Blizzard has everything like, they have down to minute, this is what we're going to try to do. Obviously the games can change the flow, but they have like their window of how long games are going to be. So I do think there is a nice thing with Blizzard compared to others, but I do think like the trumping factor is just experience. Like if you've hosted multiple tournaments, then you become pretty good at it. Did I answer the question or any?
You definitely did answer that question. Yes.
I try to help.
I mean, it's definitely a big thing, right? When you talk about resources, right? Like for me as a community tourney host, right? Every dollar that I have is usually just going to the prize pool because that's like,
yeah.
I think that usually results in like the best. Well, it's definitely the easiest to like explain to people because like most of my big ones have been crowdfunded, and it's kind of weird to say, oh, by the way, I'm taking your money to like do production quality. It's like, no, it's going to the prize pool, it's going right back out. And I mean, for the most part, it's like, yeah, I think it's pretty hard it takes like a lot of like a team, like, and you have to pay
it's
a team, right? To like people like have to have different streams. I mean, Blizzard sends everyone like a setup, like like here's a cam. Like it doesn't matter if you have a cam. Like no, here's a cam. This is what you do with it. And then they swap from streams and they have their own feeds and stuff that they're pulling from and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the professionalism, right, of Blizzard, where they can afford to send everyone a camera. Like, can't really do community tournaments. Like, that's gonna cost you way too much alone, right? And ignoring the production.
That's your next goal, Baki. Send all competitors a camera.
We'll try. We'll try to get there.
Send the ones that need them. Like 2. Like don't.
The problem is like even for opens, like some people can't stream. Like Ethan was having some major issues even when we were doing church rivals, and they're like, "You have to stream," and his like thing is dying because he's trying to share his screen and like his internet's not great, and he's like streaming from a laptop, and it's like 2 frames per second, and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Well, it
He's
also
like, try it here.
It also kind of like neglects the people who use their phone too, right?
Yeah.
Who uses their phone to play in a tournament? Come on, like
what's his name? Quay? Starts with a K.
Quay used to stream on phone. BVBAP plays exclusively on phone. Zuka, who's 14K and has been number 1 in the past, is playing this season entirely on phone. And people play on phone.
I just remember in one of the tournaments I played in, Quay was in that tournament in my lobby, and he was on his the whole time.
Yeah, he was streaming from phone.
I can't even play on phone consistently. Like my connection just drops and I skip turns, and I'm just like, I can't do this. Like I don't know.
That's my internet. What are you talking about?
I had a few months that I couldn't get into a game. Like I would search and it just wouldn't find a game. It was really weird. And I tried to play in the qualifiers for Blurby's tourney that I was invited to. So luckily I was invited, but I couldn't connect. Yeah. I don't know. I'm planning on running more tourneys. Figured Slissa's running a tourney. She's sort of announced some stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Shady wants to do a tourney as well at some point. So we'll see.
Yeah, all the cool streamers are doing it. So
I guess I'm running a tourney. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a wide range, and I think what's sort of cool is, I don't know, just seeing a variety of stuff. Like I've worked with Toybe a few. She did like a 3v3. She's done like different MMR tourneys. She's done duos. I want to do a duos probably for my next one, like an open. And like people experimenting with formats and stuff is really cool. Formats and different groups of people to play.
I mean, different skill levels or what? What does different groups mean?
Yeah, different skill levels mostly. But like, the French community has tourneys that's like mostly European based. The Spanish community did like a Spanish.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
community one.
Was
like,
it was Sway, right? Who did
like
the one that was like under 6K to like 8K,
yeah, did
and then, like
MMR
9K
brackets.
had
Yeah,
3
yeah.
different brackets. That was cool.
Yeah, I think it was 4 even.
It might have
really
been.
Cool.
It may have been, but and there's like different prize pools for each, and like it was actually really like well thought out.
No, it was super well done. She's done a lot, so it's cool. Bob's League, yeah, that's the one. But yeah, so there's just different people, and it's cool too because I have people message me and be like, "Your stuff is cool," like it's a inspiration of sorts.
Must be nice.
And I'm like, that's weird. It's weird when people say I'm an inspiration. I'm not used to that, but I like it and could get used to it. So don't stop.
You inspired my hair color.
I'm glad. I don't know. Twitch Rivals is really cool.
We can move on. To be fair, I'm pretty happy with it.
I don't think there's anything else here.
Yeah. I got you.
The league stuff is cool. I would like to see more league stuff. Terry corrected me that HSBG Club is not a league, but it is running constant tournaments, and you have to be a member. So, it's adjacent.
Sounds like a league.
At the very least.
Walks like a league, talks like a league, acts like a league. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if the monetization and support kind of overlaps. I don't know if there's anything else here. We don't really have that much information on the Lobby Legends, so there's not much else to talk about that we haven't. Like we talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah, we can jump straight to final thoughts. I think it's been
Final thoughts.
Game sucks, you guys.
I just said streaming plans for next year. I mean, it could be whatever you guys want. Obviously, we're in streams, so I don't know if you guys had thoughts on like what the streaming scene looked like this year. And for me, obviously, it was like a pretty big year. I hosted my first tournaments. I
Partner
did some charity streams. I got partner. I got to play in some like really cool. I got cool opportunities. So that was cool. I mean, it's just like a year in review. As much as we talked about the game, like still us too. So yeah, it was a cool year for me, and I'm excited for the next year. I'm excited to see what it has in store. I'm planning on hosting more tourneys and continuing to try and grow and build some of this stuff. Like this sort of content, I really enjoy, and the fact that we're doing this has been really awesome, and so hoping for that to continue too.
Yeah, I definitely like doing this kind of stuff as well. Like it's nice to talk to you guys and just kind of have like a nice
and not play the game
and not have to play
any
the
excuse
game.
to not have to play the game, man.
I'm glad you're hearing the words behind my words. Thank you. But generally for me, like it's been I don't remember the full year. I can't remember exactly where I was a year ago, like what I was doing, what I was thinking. But I do generally remember that it's been a generally good year for me in terms of like Hearthstone stuff. I've been streaming. I've had a decent opportunities. I've definitely met more people this year as well, which I think I really like. Just kind of seeing more of the community and just sharing. Our lives and thoughts together. I generally just like that as meeting new humans. So, and then playing some games. I've won some tournaments. I've lost some tournaments. Got second place in all of them as well, which is a good achievement. Like people are like, you got second. That's so sad. And I'm like, nah, that's a superpower. Like what? Second is great. Like every time. Like what are you talking about? Yeah. So and then I win the ones that I care about, the big money. So it's fine. Like so I'm generally okay with it also. I've generally had a good time. And Lobby Legends is like, I don't know, for me I kind of need encouragement to try. That's why tournaments work for me, because then I get to try. Like when I'm streaming, I just troll. I don't care. Like the MMR for me, I don't think it matters. Like you can be rank 1 or not. Like if you win the tournaments, that's what matters to me. So like having Lobby Legends, that gives me an excuse to try. So I'm excited to see where that goes as well and whatnot. So I think it's a good year, and hopefully there will be good stuff in store.
Jake, Carrick, you want to go next?
I mean, not really, but yeah, sure. I mean, I basically effectively started streaming this year, so that was nice. Like I technically started like the year before with WSOE, but I barely like actively streamed until like start of this year. Especially because I actually got a good like season 3 finish and all that. I don't know, it's been really fun to actually like compete for stuff, but also actively like meet new people. Playing in duo tourneys has been the best. Solo tourneys make me a bit sad, but like the duo tourneys have actually like been the highlight of my year. Like the duo and trio tourneys have been the best.
We won a duo tourney this year, didn't we?
Yeah, like we won one. We won one of those. Like the Odd Dragon Invitational one. It was cool.
Yep. That was cool.
And I do think that the actual biggest highlight of my Hearthstone like Battlegrounds year has been Twitch Rivals. Like winning that thing was pretty dang cool.
That's pretty cool.
Very happy about that. Yeah.
$175,000 tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Still waiting on the year of Doritos. Actually, 2 years of Doritos. Still waiting on those. They'll probably come next year. I don't know. That's it for me. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah,
that's fair. Sapphire.
What was the beginning of this year, Pat? Like, was it season 3?
It was the yes.
Season 3.
Yeah, it was Season 3. It was the end of the spell meta.
Okay, so I don't think I got partner this year. I think it was last year.
That's correct.
But yeah, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. I generally prefer doing co-ops on my stream. My internet is garbage, so like I disconnect like twice a night, like every night. It's a lot less annoying if I'm co-oping because I'm not like losing the game because of it. I just, don't get that extra turn to co-op with them, but it doesn't like affect them really either. But I was able to do a charity stream recently, a couple weeks ago. A lot of you actually participated. Very nice. We raised about $1,500 for the homeless. I was able to find a homeless couple, take them through Walmart, get them a hotel room, etc. Yeah, not a lot to say. It's been different this year, I will say, because of the changes to Khadgar. My stream used to be a lot more. I don't know. I don't want to say trolly because it wasn't like I was trolling, but it used to be a little bit more fun, maybe.
There was novelty to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would force Khadgar every game and play some Super Saiyan Goku music while I was transitioning, and that's not really a thing anymore. It's a little bit more serious now, is what I will say. I play a little bit more seriously now, but about once a day, I'll still see Khadgar or Hogger and sell off my entire board and lose the game. There's still that.
Pull is too strong. Sounds good. Sleepy?
Yeah, I mean, I started streaming. Looking to continue that, kind of just grow and mainly branch out into doing a bit more than just kind of like, I don't know, turning on my stream and playing the game, because I don't know, I think I want to kind of somehow branch out and do more than just that, but obviously still do that. And yeah, maybe if there's more duo tournaments, because I kind of like dipped out of the doing tournaments thing for the most part, and like I stopped looking for them. I think largely just because I had really bad experiences in solo tournaments, so maybe like do some duo tournaments or like team tournaments type of thing, because like I've had pretty good experiences in those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the nice things, I mean, not to just take your time in, but the duos is also nice because you're also just, even if you both do poorly, you're not alone. You can like talk and joke and like, it feels a lot more depressing when you're like alone and you get scammed and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
this sucks.
yeah, because that was my experience in a lot of tournaments, and it's just like I don't want to do. I'm not gonna put effort into finding these. Like if somebody asks me to play in a tournament, sure, but I'm not gonna go seek out this experience because it was not very enjoyable.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, it's weird too, like with the duo tournaments. Like I've only played in one duo tournament because nobody ever invites me, even though I'm really good at the game, I promise. But I was invited to one from oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? He was rank 3 in season 2. He's Australian. He doesn't stream anymore. Wombo style. Holy shit! Wow. I feel so bad. He invited me to a duo tournament, and the qualifier was the first round was 3 games, and he took eighth, and I took first, second, and we missed it by 1 point.
Oh.
And for the next like 2 weeks,
God.
every time he saw me, he was like, I felt so, because I didn't care, right? Like I didn't. Like,
Yeah.
It was his turn. I was invited by him. Like it wasn't my
Yeah.
doing. Like he was like so apologetic and felt so bad, and it made me feel so bad because like I could tell like how like bad he felt. So like that's like the downside of the duo turn side, right? Is like if one person like flops, then it's even worse.
I know the feeling. I played a tourney with Hoppa and we lost. We got second because of me though.
Wow, you got second, baby.
Wow, Pocky.
Okay, but like I know the feeling though. Like you feel awful.
The aspect of like even if you get like if you get eighth 3 times, like you probably did something suboptimally, but there's also like an aspect of teamwork where like even if you got 8 3 times, it maybe wasn't all on you, right?
It was
It
separate.
was a lot on you, probably. But
It was separate lobbies.
What?
It was separate lobbies.
Oh, never mind. Never mind then. That's I don't like that. Maybe I don't like that. I don't like the like, oh, we're just like in separate lobbies, but we're both like competing for points. I think if it's like 2 people, I don't like it. If it's 4 people, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if you just do badly, then you single-handedly just tank somebody else's game.
If I remember correctly, the
I like
format
it,
was there were 32 people. It was 16 teams of 2, and then 16. Half of the teams got eliminated to go to 2 lobbies, and then half the teams got eliminated to go to 1 lobby. And then once you got to the final lobby, you were allowed to communicate.
Yeah,
I think is what the format was.
That's kind of like Twitch Rivals, right?
Yeah, but Twitch
Like
Rivals,
you
we were allowed
start
to
as
communicate
solos.
even if we're not in the same lobby,
True.
which was still
But
generally
in terms
helpful
of
and nice.
Seems kind of pointless.
yeah, I liked it.
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
How
just
does that
need
work? If you're playing at the same time, or are you not playing at the same time?
like if you get
Oh, but,
out,
like,
then you can help your
there's
team.
decision.
Oh, okay.
But even then, there's like decisions where you're like, hey, would you take this or this? Like, just quick. Like, you're done with your challenge.
Yeah, me and
What would you do
Shady,
here?
we can do that pretty well. So
Icky Imp or Acolyte Cthulhu?
Yeah.
Turn 1, go.
Yeah, I mean it's Icky, right?
Yeah, it's
Depends on the hero and the tribes in the game.
Thank you. That's the real answer.
Like, everybody asks you a
But also
question, and
Icky.
you're just like, it depends. What's in?
Yeah, no, I mean that's literally my answer every time.
But no, I liked it. I like the combination of the solos, duos, and being in a 4-person team. It was cool. Chief, since you joined and you were in Twitch Rivals, do you have any final thoughts as you come back to us?
We were
Just on your
reflecting
year in general.
specifically like
Yeah.
tournament.
Okay. I'm like, it all started with Blurby. I'd like to thank Blurby a lot for making me who I am. But okay, wait,
For making me who I am.
I'm just gonna say Blurby made you every time I see you from now on.
Or Chief.
Okay, I'm in a game, but I'm done. I just got like message and stuff. But okay. So I was like streaming as a joke. I did not expect people to take me seriously because like I was pretty high leaderboard and then I was always in chats, but people wanted to see me play. So I was like, but I had a really shitty MacBook. So like, there's no way people would take me seriously. And this was like maybe the end of last year or something, maybe the start of this year. I don't know, sometime around the start of this year. And it was funny. but then one day I was randomly, I think I was like either co-oping with Blurby or casting with Blurby. Does anyone remember? Anyway, I was co-oping or casting with Blurby, and then IRKS comes in chat and donates 2.5k to me.
You're
Was like, go buy a new PC. And I was like, my life changed. And then like I had to fulfill his promise, so I bought a new PC. And then I think and then everyone was super supportive and stuff. And then yeah, my stream got to where I am now. And yeah, it was like the best year I've ever had. And I turned 18, which is like
That's nice.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think
this year was so much better. He's just like, it's maybe my best year of my life.
Yeah.
Probably my best year of my life. Like, damn.
It hasn't been very long, but it was like a lot of things happened, and I'm so grateful. Like everyone in the community is so nice, and yeah, like getting like someone literally bought me a PC and they don't even know me. Like that's crazy.
didn't he drop like 1,000 subs too, or something like that?
Yeah, like the first day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel really grateful for Icarus. I hope I can pay him back.
He wouldn't do it if he didn't want to.
Yeah. No, I mean the community is fantastic. Like I said, my year also would not have been the same without the community. All the stuff that I talked about, all the highlights, like hosting tourneys, like charity streams, partner, like that's all just the community, really. Like I don't know, like if it almost feels weird to take any credit for it because of how much the community support is why any of it's possible. So echo that.
Yeah, I feel like the games that I've played in the past were all like it was like mainly FPSs, and so you very often didn't have the same sense of community. You'd have like a lot of rivalries, a lot of like whatever. And so it's definitely very different and refreshing to like come here and realize like everybody's just kind of united in their hatred of Bob and Blizzard.
I don't hate Blizzard. Let's not. Let's not go.
I was agreeing with the Bob thing. I used to say that all the time. Like everyone in Battlegrounds is all happy because we all have the same, enemy every game, and it's Bob, not everyone else in the lobby.
There's a reason my first ever emote was "Damn it, Bob." But it is refreshing to most of the time. Like usually when you have a bunch of high level players who are all competing for being better than the other people, like there's not a lot of helping the other person out to get better. But like for whatever reason in Battlegrounds, that's not the case. Like anytime that there's like a discussion between two high level players, it's to like try to figure out what the best line is together, as opposed to like keeping your better line.
I think part of it's just the culture we set, right?
If you create the culture, if you like
I cannot
something.
count the amount of times it's like the night before a tourney, and I will just go into someone's chat who I know is gonna be my competition the day after, and just sit in chat and go like, hey, I would do this because blah 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 blah, and just I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean that might cost me tomorrow, but like I don't care.
And we have a lot of people that would do that kind of thing, and that's really good to see. Well, if you like that kind of thing, it's good to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Dude, can you stop fucking backseating me? I told you I don't want it. Like...
I'll sit in Asmodee's chat and I'll put all of my points on no, and then I'll coach him through the game for a first. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's it. It only took 6 hours.
Was it only 6? Yeah, you're right.
It was right at 6. Yeah. I have one quick question, real quick, because at the very start of this, 6 hours ago, we were talking about the new patch that you said is supposedly supposed to be out in a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do we have any information on that whatsoever? Like, anything that's going to be in it, or any?
Nope, okay. Just that it's big.
Because the only speculation that I had heard is that there may be a new tribe.
It's baseless, and I contributed to it. Yeah, I want there to be a new tribe, but there's not a single thing that says.
Okay. So all the way knows that's going to be a huge patch.
Not huge, just big.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
I don't think it's going to be revamped. It's not going to be revamped size.
Yeah, it depends what you define by huge.
Sure.
And we don't know. We just know it's big, and that's a nebulous word, right?
Is that supposed to be the season patch?
I mean,
we'll find out. Right?
Yeah. Yes, it will be the season patch. So, yeah. MMR will be reset at the same time.
That's what I mean by season.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's it for.
Anyone else have?
No, it's been 6 hours. Let's wrap this up.
That is only here for 5.5.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna
maybe we want to wrap up.
I'm taking the full 6 in my work card.
You're logging it down as 6.
Yeah.
As far as I know, Slayer, no one on leaderboards has been asked by Blizzard about game balance. But if they were, I will say this: they wouldn't be able to tell you because they would sign an NDA. So even if they did, you wouldn't find out.
I could tell you if I haven't been asked.
So Sleepy, what were you saying?
Oh, because I was just reminded because we're talking about the new patch and how we know nothing about it, and I'm kind of like, what the hell? I would like there to be a hype cycle in this game.
Yeah, they were talking about adding something like that. So maybe
Yeah.
in the future, right? The new community managers, she's really good. So don't worry
Okay.
about it. Next year, a lot of hopium. Just smell or absorb it.
I mean, yeah, alkali has been amazing so far, I think. Obviously, there's only been like a little bit of Battleground stuff so far, but you can definitely tell that.
I see all the work she puts in for sure.
Yeah, she's done a lot, and even like you can see like how excited all the standard players and stuff were for how they changed all the reveals and stuff, and like it's cool. I mean, there is a lot of hope, I think. I think a lot of other people have. It's crazy that like one person could have that much impact, but
is it
I really feel like
crazy?
she has.
I don't think so, right?
Well,
like one person changes the world.
I mean,
have you heard of this guy?
You're optimistic.
I'm realistic.
No, I mean, but it's still impressive because
yeah, it definitely is.
It feels like the sentiment too has just shifted a ton, and she hasn't been there that long. Like, so it is a big deal that how much of a difference she's had already, and I'm hoping it will continue. And it sounds like not just her, but
it's
the rest of the
obviously not
community
just her.
management team and the esports team as well. Like some of the stuff that I've seen sounds exciting, Like they talked about some of the stuff of like trying to support third party organizers a little more. And like I said, I assume that means for like promotion and stuff, but that's a big deal. As a community organizer, your reach is your community and maybe a few branched out, right? But like Blizzard's reach is a lot more, and that can make a big difference on some of that stuff. So I'm excited for a lot of things. I am also excited for the patch. I don't know what's going to happen. We've had shockingly little information, but
Is it shockingly?
Is it though?
Yeah, it's a bit more.
Well, I mean, the last two big changes we knew about months in advance, which was awful. I thought it was terrible. So I mean, I guess point taken. I thought it was awful that we knew so long in advance, but
I mean, we didn't really, right?
we knew there was a new tribe, and then we knew there was gonna not be a new tribe.
Yeah, it's like we knew Cold Wars were coming, but like we didn't know what they were, what they would do, what the philosophy behind them was. Like we basically got like a picture and a name, right? I wouldn't count that as giving information.
True.
Right.
It's just a teaser.
Yeah.
But we haven't even heard anything besides just it will be big.
So she's
that's it.
So I do have to go. Appreciate that.
Yes, we need to go. Wrap it up, Palky.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining me on this. It's a lot of fun. I would not have been the same just doing it by myself. So really grateful for all you guys. I'm glad you all had a great year, and I'm glad you guys all made my year.
I just want to say on behalf of all of us, the people that are still here and the people that have already taken off, wonderful job on the slides. I know you put a lot of time and effort into that. It was fantastic, like amazing. Like what was it, like almost 60 slides?
Yeah.
I literally just closed out, but like I think it was like 58 slides or something. Like that is more work than most college students will put into like their final. So great job.
Hey, this is a final of sorts for us.
True, final at the end. Great job, seriously though. But
yeah, I agree with that sentiment completely.
Sounds good. All right, see you guys. Have a good New Year's if we don't talk before then.
Have a good New Year's.
It's
7 a.m. I still need to go sleep. This isn't great.
It's midnight for me, so right on time.
Yeah.
Right.
See you guys.
Bye.